and sausage or bacon. So the first bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. And the second bite is like fresh American cheese sauce. Bacon. You get the idea. And now, get yours with $1 any size soft drink. Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Paid for by government.com.
The 1878 to 1921 Morgan Silver Dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It's been 100 years since the last Morgan Silver Dollar coin was struck for circulation. And now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right. You can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan Silver Dollar coins, all in very good collector condition with fully visible dates and mint marks, guaranteed. Call 1-800-473-0864 now to secure collector-grade U.S. Morgan Silver Dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American Collector's Pack, valued at over $25, free with every order. Call 1-800-473-0864 now to secure your full pound bag of Morgan Silver Dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-473-0864. That's 1-800-473-0864.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Porte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. Wow. I haven't talked all day out loud. And then something's up with my voice.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes got to warm up.
Wow.
Got to stretch before you sprint, you know?
Huh. Where'd that come from? Excuse me. Test. Is this thing on? Yes, I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien. Not alongside Randy White. He should be back tomorrow, but got Ralph. No, Ralph's not here. Ralph usually is here for Thursday, so I don't know what happened to him. I got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I just honestly, I thought I'd said a few words to my dogs today. I'm all alone at the house, so I haven't had reason to speak audibly until just now. This has never happened before, where I just hadn't talked all day. So I hope I can do this. Or else Keon's got 2.5 hours ahead of him.
Oh, man.
Of just talking to himself.
At a moment's notice.
This is weird. Anyway, so what else did I not say? Oh, that's right. We're broadcasting live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale today. Now that we are in a different time zone than we were last time, on Thursdays, we are going to have Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. He'll be on at 5 o'clock. You will have a half hour with him at 5 o'clock before Thursday Night Football. We'll do our NFL fan pick'em picks at 4 o'clock, which means we've got an extra hour. I don't know. We generally don't do anything impressive. We don't need, you know what I'm saying? We just screw around for the 3 o'clock hour.
That's true.
I mean, we show up with ideas about what we might do in this hour,
but then we don't actually do them. And that's par for the course.
So CK says, Peter Jeffrey Brady, nice to hear. Yeah. Nice to hear you finally hitting puberty. It was about time. Big George is on the text line, of course, with his platitudes, which I don't like to read, but he says, sounds like Jeffrey yelled too loudly at the Kenny G concert last night in Phoenix. I told you not to go crazy. When a bepermed man is laying it down with a saxophone, I just can't help myself. I met Kenny G once.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What's he like?
He's like a chick. So, I mean, he just,
Kenny G plays the kind of jazz music I hate.
This was back in the 90s. And I'm not going to name drop who I was at a table with, but I was at a table with an actual celebrity, and he came over and started talking to us. And when he walked off, me and the actual celebrity were both just like, oof. Oh my God.
What? Why?
Just, I don't even know how to explain it. And I can't do any voices right now, so I can't even.
True, so you can't even do the Kenny G
voice.
Even
mimic. So
to be fair, I don't think I've heard Kenny G's voice. I've pretty much just heard that damn saxophone.
You're not missing much. All I know is
okay.
I wish I hadn't brought it up, to be honest. Anyway,
technically, Big George brought it up, but that's neither here nor there.
I don't know. I might not be in my right head right now. You just this whole voice thing coming out of me just wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, it's gonna throw you off a little.
I don't know if that helped. Weird. All right, that's fine.
It sounds like it kind of did.
I'm ready to go lay down. I'll just go lay down. I don't need to do this. I'm wearing a white shirt today, which is giving my camera all sorts of fits. And now it looks like, the rest of the room around me is very dark. And I am this glowing orb of Jeffrey. Usually it's something that just my face does, but now it's my entire shirt. And it's been a weird 24 hours for me, man. I had another night incident. I was lying dead asleep, and I had this dream that a floating ghosty woman apparition with gnashy teeth was like this coming at me. And so I start swinging away at it, like going right through it. And I start yelling at my wife, she's got me. Yeah, get out of here. Like, go save yourself. And that was actually all. I did everything. I did the movements. And I yelled at, and then, of course, she was not happy.
Well, yeah, because you were throwing hands at bed.
No, she wanted to know who this woman was.
Oh.
Who is this woman? I'll be honest.
Well, someone you were trying to fight. So does that mean anything?
Well, with the big, sharp, gnashy teeth, but then also very attractive. Was very attractive. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to lie to you.
I didn't expect that.
Yes, translucent, evil, eyes of fire, teeth all gnashy, and she's coming at me with the big, long, pointy, scary fingernails right above me in the bed. But a part of me was just all like, oh, well, I guess, So I had to answer for that. No, it wasn't Jewel, Moist One.
Oh, God.
She was not trying to save my soul as much as I think she was trying to eat my soul. Swazman says, Keon, remember a week ago or so, you did the whole show by yourself? You know how it goes after 4 hours. You just sound like a trucker on an overnight radio program there.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds like
did you turn into full George Norrie / Art Bell?
I got off the air after doing that because it was just kind of like a last second, like Randy just couldn't make it, and I sounded like I opened up a pack of cigarettes and just chain smoked the whole thing instead of doing a show. That's what my throat felt like. Just
I thought what you were trying to say was that you had you started getting weird on air because those late night talk show guys, they got time to fill. So there'll be these long gaps of thoughtful dead air.
Yeah.
And pauses in between the things that they're trying to say to you.
Yeah. Which when you're talking about
on air,
an alien demon possession
on the West Coast, 888-368-1580, and the East Coast, still 888-368-1580. I've listened to Art Bell a couple times, and I'm like, all right. This guy is not even fully awake.
No, not really.
I would think, that the flat earthers, their primary objective would be to go videotape the end of the earth. If they could go just get some video of that, then everybody would say, oh my God, they're right.
Yeah. I wonder why they can't.
I don't know. They haven't tried hard enough.
I wonder what's holding them back. I can't imagine what that would be.
Seems like that'd be the end of the argument, right? So rather than having a convention, rather than getting everybody together, pool your money, send one guy out. Just one guy. Bring back some video. That's the end of that. I always think of flat earthers when I think of the Art Bell or the George Norrie or
it's the same.
Whatever Wingnut's doing it now.
Yeah.
Walter Mellon says, "Oh, it was the ghost of FedFan."
Oh no.
I think she's alive and well.
Yeah.
Wilbur says, "So Phyllis Diller attacked you in bed?" I wish. Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, "I have those night incidents too all the time. Happens anytime I dream about naked pretty women." Well, you're not supposed to do that. Or I don't know.
Well, it's the dreaming that he can't help.
You're not supposed to be dreaming about naked pretty women. You're supposed to be dreaming about naked pretty wives. Or the next one. I don't know. Seabass says, "I listen to Coast every night. My favorite show was just last week when he did Coast to Ghost, driving all night. Not much else to listen to. The lot lizards love Coast to Coast." No, I know that's a show for truckers. I do. Yeah. Shadow People is my favorite George Norrie stuff. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, to be honest.
I don't know what to do about this voice. I'm serious. Is this gonna work? You're like, of course it is.
I hope so. I mean, I don't want to fill you with false hope, but I sure hope so.
Fish Tank says, "Has Mr. Magnificent Mormon come to regret telling us he's Mormon? Because the jokes, they are a-flowing."
He's made a couple of them.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, he doesn't regret that.
I used to do this on stage, but especially when I was in Mormon areas. I would say, "Hey, I got a joke. All right, so this Mormon family, they go camping. And so the dad's like, "Hey, Timmy, go find the stream and take a bucket of water and get some water for us." And so he goes over the hill and he comes back. He's like, "Dad, I can't find it. It's not that." He goes, "Well, I don't know. Try that way." He goes over the hill. Can't find. Oh my God. And he comes back and says, "Dad, I still can't find it." Well, just go that way. Tired of this. And then the kid goes over the hill, comes back, and he's like, his dad is gone. So he's like, "Hey mom, hey 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 mom." Found the water. Just the dumbest thing, but Mormons aren't supposed to be there anyway. Baker's Cocky Hen says, "Shadow people are the evil creatures living in the shadows. You know when you think you see a shadow move strangely? That's the shadow people." I'm the guy. Can I just tell you? I can go sleep in a haunted house. You tell me a house is haunted, I'll just go in there, give me a pillow, a sleeping bag, I'll go to sleep, and I'll have no problems.
Yeah, I don't care at all. I was stopped from sleeping in a haunted house on a challenge of a listener at the station I used to work at because the people that worked at the station were very superstitious, and they essentially were just like you can't go, and just to keep them from stressing out, because one of them was our manager Jen, and Jen is a friend of mine and really cool, so I didn't want to stress her out, so I didn't go, but I would have. It's just a house. It's just a house.
Yeah. I mean, a ghost can't hurt you. This new texter says, I know this is not that type of show, but I got a relationship question. I just found out the girl I'm dating has a fake leg. Should I break it off? With her permission. I'm not going to kink shame Ray. He says his name is Ray, by the way. Mr. Wilbur says, so let me get this straight. You went from Kenny G and holding on to his horn to some lady attacking you in bed. What the heck were you doing last night? I don't know, man. I don't know. And it's not good to have these little night, I call them night incidences, because otherwise they call them night terrors, but I'm not scared. So I don't like the term night terror because I think it's wimpy. So I call it a night incident. And I looked it up, and having these things sometimes can be seen as a precursor to either Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. So I got that going for me.
Yay.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Speaking of debilitating diseases, look, Ralph's here. Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
Oh, he didn't know if you were coming or not.
I didn't know if I was. I was shooting a podcast.
Oh. So I don't know what happened to my voice, but here I just turned on the radio, and first time I talked all day, suddenly it's just like all weird. So you guys get to talk a lot. I'm not going to talk much.
Yeah, you sound very, I don't know
what happened.
Like you were screaming at a Kenny G concert or something.
Or a ghost at a Kenny G concert.
Yeah.
Swazman says, Jeffrey, you would think overnight radio would be like Marine drill instructors yelling at microphones, keep you awake on the open road. All right, that's a good point. Something upbeat. Donnie says, would you buy a house where one was brutally murdered? Just one? Big George says, Jeffrey, your voice sounds okay to me. Kind of like listening to John Wayne towards the end of his career. Very manly. I don't know that this makes anything manly. Baker's Cocky Hen says, one leg. Well, that opens up a lot of fun positions. We're not going there. We're not going there.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Ralph, what was your podcast you were shooting?
It was a Harmon Solar podcast. We
video podcast.
Yeah, we brought in a real estate expert to talk about solar and real estate. It's good.
Big George says, well, if Ralph is on the show, Jeffrey, you can't take the day off. Well, what?
Big George, be quiet. Do us all a favor.
No, he's saying I can take the day off. I might.
You can't. No,
I might.
I'm not staying on with Keon. I'll leave.
No, well, that's a shame.
What's your beef with Keon now?
I have no beef with Keon.
I thought we were good. We're tied in the pick'em contest
again,
constantly.
I know. I'm up on you by 6 now.
I beat you in fantasy, so I feel good about that.
Yeah,
you got that going for you. So,
Not by 6?
Huh? Yes.
Not by 6?
Yes.
That's BS.
It's just the truth.
Are you changing the picks again?
I've never done that. And even if I wanted to, if anybody ever did that, this version of the picks actually would be marked and highlighted. So nobody could get away with anything here. Not that anyone ever did before.
I'm calling pool host.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And they'll say the same thing to you that King Kittens is saying right now. Suck it, Ralph.
Boy, thank you, King of Kittens.
So George is a lawyer. He's our 7-foot lawyer. That's the kind of guy you want to walk into a courthouse with, and intimidate the other side. But I don't know if this guy needs a lawyer the size of George, because it seems like a pretty open and shut kind of thing. This law firm in Oregon has filed a lawsuit on behalf of a 71-year-old man named William. He was riding his bike a couple of years ago, and an ambulance crashes into him, just turned right into his path. It was totally the ambulance's fault, and just hits him. And the ambulance is like, oh, crap. Then they scoop William up and they rush him to the hospital. Later, they billed him for more than $1,800 for the ride, even though they were the ones who hit him. So now he's got like $47,000 in medical expenses and probably another $50,000 in medical costs in the future due to his injuries. Fractured his nose, got all scraped and bruised up. He has suffered decreased range of motion. He can't grab things. He's just the guy got ran over by a damn ambulance. And so, yeah, he's having to sue them for that. Can you imagine that? Somebody hits you and then charges you $1,800 for the ride.
That's funny.
They should charge him twice for the first time when he rode on the hood of the thing, and then the next time on the inside. Should have been $3,600.
You're going to do it all the way. You say the healthcare system hurts people. That's not exactly what they're talking about.
That's good.
Lightning Roofer says, if you're a realtor and you think solar makes real estate hard, you sell like 1 or 2 homes a year. Get a new job. I guess the Lightning Roofer really likes solar.
Yeah, the problem is a lot of realtors don't understand it. So because they don't understand it, they poo-poo it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm all for, can I just tell you though? I mean, I'm all for solar. And I've got innovative ideas in solar, which I'm going to sell to some other companies since you keep
you're not.
You keep saying no to me.
Yeah, because they're bad.
But have they done anything to make it sort of less of an eyesore if you want to put it in the front of the house? Because I feel like it just doesn't. It's something that should be on the back of the house.
I mean, the panels are now smooth black with black ends on them. The rails are all black, so they've made it look a lot better. It's all sleek looking black. They can even put a spoiler in the front of it. So
a spoiler.
They actually have spoilers.
Why would you do that?
To make it just more smooth looking as it goes into the roof. But yeah, there's better things now.
Mm-hmm. Because at first I was like, well, I don't want to put that in the front of the house, and then I realized I don't even care about my neighbors, so I might as well put it on the front of the house.
But does the front face? What direction does it face?
Exactly where you'd want it to get good solar.
South.
Yeah.
You really need it on the front.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Can I put it on struts in the backyard along the back fence? Because like
struts,
like tall, like stilts.
I mean, you could.
Can you put it on your back roof on those same things where they kind of poke up like that?
If you wanted to see them fly off like kites, yeah, they're about an 80-pound kite.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, the monsoons would be really entertaining for me.
They would literally fly. I've seen them fly.
All right, so maybe not like that.
I've seen them fly into neighbors' homes, go through windows, into walls.
You've actually seen it happen.
I've seen it, yes, and I've seen the aftermath of it. It's not pretty.
All right. Well, I was just wondering. I mean, these are just questions,
It's the exploration phase still.
You go back to the crystal ball, or whatever.
I think that's a winner. King Kenton says, I just devoured a small Halloween bag of belly jelly beans. He says, those things are tasty.
Okay.
Enjoy the diabetes.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say it again because Ralph just showed up. We're going to talk some football here in this hour. And then in the next hour, we're going to do our Harman Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. And then in the next hour, from 5 to 5:30, we'll go ahead and get your fantasy football questions answered. So that's the plan. Time change ruins everything, but here we are. And we'll go ahead and, probably screw around this hour more than anything, but still, that's the recipe. So
Dodger talk?
What?
No?
Who?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's a Dodger? Like a draft Dodger?
Have you talked at all about the World Series in the last
0%?
Not one time?
Nope. The only thing we talked about were those idiots that tried to grab the mitt and ball from Mookie Betts. We talked about the guys during the Stand Up for Cancer part that went, "You suck, Freeman." And then we talked about the idiot Dodger fan who blew his fingers off. That was all that we needed to talk about. What a moron, huh? Anyways,
do Dodger talk. Let's go.
We just did. That was it.
No.
There's no need. Sir Drives a Lot is right. We're dodging the World Series talk. Let's
talk free agency. Let's talk Sasaki becoming a Dodger. Let's talk Max Fried becoming a Dodger. Come on.
You have your own show to do that with, isn't it?
No, we're a football show. We don't talk.
Oh,
that's a shame.
Today's a football
That's
show.
a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
So all right, so let's take a break. We'll come back. More of the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
The Arizona Cardinals are home on Sunday as they take on Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. The Cardinals are 5-4. They've won 3 in a row coming off the victory last Sunday against the Chicago Bears. Arizona is a 1.5 home underdog on Sunday, plus 105 on the money line. The Jets are minus 125. The over-under total at 46.5. The Phoenix Suns Friday will be in Dallas to take on the Mavericks. Suns have won 6 in a row coming off Wednesday's victory against Miami. They are 7-1 on the season, while Dallas is at 5-3. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, sports fans, this is Dylan Cohen.
And I'm Keon Rose, and we're bringing you Beat the Book every weekday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
So if you want the latest betting picks, advice, and analysis that's sharp as a knife,
or at least sharper than Dylan's last pick on the Cardinals.
Oh, you've got jokes, huh? Maybe you're feeling bold now that your Commanders actually look decent this season.
Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Well, tune in to Beat the Book with us, Dylan Cohen and Keon Rose, every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by Sport Trade, the newest sports book in Arizona.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Veterans Day sale, save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery with any base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Thursday Night Football is live on The Fanatic.
Cincinnati travels to Maryland to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The season's getting later, and Cincinnati looks to turn things around and string some wins together. Meanwhile, the Ravens look to stay aggressive. Can Lamar and the Ravens hold off Joe Cool and the Cincinnati Bengals? Thursday Night Football, 5:30 this Thursday.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Man, I don't understand what's happening. I don't know where this came from.
You sound amazing.
Devil Hawk says, as a roofer for a competitive company of Rouse, I can confirm that Harmon Solar is a good company run by good people. Nobody asked. I don't know why.
He knows that I don't run it. That's why he's saying that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was clear just right up the bat. But
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Devil Hawk. Sir drives a lot. Thank you. Silver Pop says, how about we talk about the 10th place Lakers since Ralph wants to talk LA? Well, that would be more current. That would be more topical to talk about the Lakers. I haven't really been paying attention. How are your Lakers doing?
I honestly have not been paying attention either. I've been too busy.
They are 4-4.
They lost yesterday, I think, right?
Hey, you're at least 500. That's great.
Are they 4-4? Okay.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Let's see. They lost to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Last
Memphis,
night, right?
That's a tough team. That is a tough team right there.
I thought I saw that. Is Cleveland like undefeated?
They were.
Oklahoma was for a moment.
They lost last night. I saw that.
Yeah. Let's see. Double check the standings.
You got
right.
that? You got that.
Yeah. Cleveland is 9-0 to
Wow.
start the season.
How'd that happen?
That's a great question.
Hey, the Suns have only lost one.
Who'd the Suns lose to?
Some losers in LA.
Oh, okay.
Hey, look, 6 in a row, man.
9-0. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with your team? You can't say injuries because Anthony Davis just got injured. So what's going on there?
I honestly have not been watching. I watched the Dodgers till they won the World Series, and then I was busy with other stuff. I don't want to talk about election stuff, but doing that, and now I'm just with work and stuff. So I honestly, I don't know. I haven't watched them.
You guys better get your act together if you want to win a mid-season tournament.
Well, let me ask Keon, what's wrong? What's up with the Lakers? I
Yeah,
can get real answers from him.
Yeah, I just think that the Lakers are kind of struggling with a little bit of depth, man. Like it just seems like their starters are doing just fine. Like LeBron's been good. When Anthony Davis was healthy, he was absolutely on a tear. Like it looked like
it's not what Redick says.
You get an Anthony Davis season the way he was playing.
Why
that
you
was
keep
like
saying
an
was?
MVP. Well, because he's hurt.
What?
Street clothes.
What happened?
Well, he got hurt. I mean, what more do you need to know?
Hold on, let me
bad hurt or
like he's out for the moment, hurt.
Well, that's what's wrong then.
Hold on, I gotta scroll way down to get to the Lakers on my list here.
For Anthony Davis.
You know how he is. He's always rolling his ankles, stepping on guys, stuff like that. His feet are all the way down there, so he's not really able to pay as close attention to them as he needs to be.
He's an aggressive player. He's a great player.
He is a great player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right.
MVP kind of like tear that he started the season on, but obviously, you got the foot injury now. I don't know how long he's supposed to be out for. That's the only issue there.
So Redick was, well, he's smart. He knows which side of the bread the butter is buttered on. I don't know. Yeah, but he goes out there last night after the Grizzlies whooped 131 to 114 the Lakers, and he just started calling everybody out for basically just laziness. He's like LeBron James. He's like 40, and he's running around. He's playing hard, and he says he played hard. Almost 40 years old, he played the hardest in our team, and he turns and then just let the rest of the team have it after that. And he's just like, we don't have attention to detail. People are just, gotta step up. There's been huge lack of effort. So if there is a huge lack of effort, LeBron's out there trying, the rest of the guys aren't. That sounds like a kind of a broken locker room there, man.
I mean, I've heard what you just said. I've heard that people are saying that JJ Redick has been impressive as a head coach.
He does look good, and like the offense is moving the ball well, but I kind of agree with him. But like the reason why I said the depth stuff is the bench. Like a lot of that production where you need some help is not necessarily coming from the bench. Dalton Connect had a really bad night last night, but he's been good for the most part. Austin Reeves played pretty well last night. LeBron, 39 points. Wow. I mean, in 35 minutes, by the way.
That's crazy.
It's just LeBron was just doing everything he could to stop them from losing that game.
So what's with the rest of the team? If he's not getting any help, what's going on?
I mean, like you got a guy like D'Angelo Russell. I like D'Angelo Russell on the offensive side. He's a lazy defensive player.
Yeah, he's a
like there's just kind of
but they kept him on a minute count. They didn't let him get out there and really go. He was limited.
Yeah, but okay. So you're getting help from Max Christie? People love Max Christie. I don't get it. He's okay. He's just an all right basketball player. Gabe Vincent, he had a really good run in Miami, but like that's a team that maximizes players all the time, and then they leave. And they're not the same dude that they were in Miami.
But he's been hurt too.
And part of that too. But he did play last night, and like he's all right. He's just okay. Like there's a lot of the Lakers roster that's just he's pretty good.
So you're thinking they're going to make a move?
They have to. I don't think they have a choice because like it's kind of like make or break for them this year. I don't know if you're moving on from Russell. I don't know.
I keep hearing the guy from Atlanta.
You're talking about Sweaty Baby here?
Trae Young?
Yeah.
Trae Young?
Yeah, Sweaty. Yeah.
I don't know that fits the Lakers.
That's what I keep hearing over and over again.
I mean, if you think that Trae Young could come over and buy into what JJ's trying to do, like there's a version of that could work. But
you see a personality clash with some of these guys? Trae Young doesn't get along with a lot of people.
It's true. He does kind of have that personality where it does wear on people a little bit. And then, of course, he himself is usually the smallest person on the court. So he's getting targeted defensively. So people don't want to hear from him that they need to be playing harder. Why don't you stay in front of somebody?
Yeah.
And he also needs the ball so much to be a playmaker that if you play on a team with LeBron, are you going to have the ball to be enough to be happy? Like, I don't know. And that's
I think LeBron's okay with letting you have the ball as long as it's doing stuff. I mean, I think his game this year has got to be, I'll jump in when I need to, but I really, hopefully I don't.
Which is all the time now.
Well, with Anthony Davis there, he doesn't, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, but.
Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, I mean, they're doing good from what I remember, but.
They just sent Bronny down to the G League, by the way. That's official.
Well, he needs to go down.
Yeah, they just did that today.
Well, yeah, but
That's
I'm
over.
sure he's not going to stay there. By the way, I mean, like they
think he'll come back up?
they mentioned over the
Why?
early on that they'll bring him back as needed because this circus with Bronny and LeBron isn't done.
Yeah, I mean it's cute and all that, but there's no reason for him to be on the Lakers.
Yeah, like winning needs to be the priority there,
Right.
and he's not ready. He's too small. He gets bullied and picked on all the time when he's on the floor. He shouldn't be out there.
We'll bring him back. We'll bring him back for the in-tournament playoffs.
Silver Pop says, I was being sarcastic. This is way too much LA talk. No, you asked for it.
You asked for it, you get it.
By the way, LeBron James, now the 6th player in league history to reach 1,500 career games with that game.
That's
1,500.
Wow. And
He's
40 in
still
it.
putting out that kind of effort.
I
So
wonder who's ahead of him.
And I know he doesn't want to.
5 guys. I don't know. I don't got that.
The whole point of playing with Anthony Davis was, hey, I'm passing the mantle to you so that I can be the second player and you can be the guy. And it's just not happening.
That's
because
how
of
it
the
started
injuries.
this season, though. That's
Is LeBron James an idiot?
No.
Why?
No, I'm just asking the question.
No.
Is LeBron James an idiot?
I wouldn't
So then
think he
he
is.
knew that Anthony Davis is injury prone. That the Lakers knew that Anthony Davis is injury prone. They should have had another piece involved that that would not put the entire thing on LeBron's shoulders because LeBron is elderly and he can't keep carrying this team on his back like he does.
Yeah, I think when LeBron first joined that team, though, the concept of Anthony Davis being that injury prone wasn't an established fact yet. That was a while ago, and now he's just been there. And like, I don't know how you have a backup plan. You get a backup superstar for your superstar. Like, what? How do you do that?
They're a piece away, right? Because I think Austin Reeves is a great player that can carry the game at points. I really like that kid. Obviously Anthony Davis, but they need one more guy. They need one more piece, and I think they'll find it this year.
Is it a big guy, small guy, forward,
I don't
guard?
think you need a big. I don't think you need a big guy. I would like to see a really good guard, a point guard, somebody that could really make just take over.
And I don't know
move
that
the game.
Trae Young helps you.
I don't know that he's the guy
because it's not like D'Angelo Russell's a terrible player. It's that he's such a defensive liability.
He's huge.
Yeah, and Trae Young is the same. Like, I mean, he's better on the offensive end, but he's the same kind of defender. I don't think Trae is lazy. I just think Trae's too small.
You need Chris Paul.
No, they don't need Chris Paul. They need a young Chris Paul.
Oh man, well the Spurs have that, and they're not letting him go.
How old are his kids? I don't know.
Stephen Castle.
They'll find somebody.
I mean, we'll see. I just don't know. Don't know. It's about the trading for them, and can you match the contracts, and what can you do being over that first apron of the salary cap?
Well, I've heard people say that they could try to trade D'Angelo Russell, and they could use Dalton Connect in the trade, which I'd hate to give up Dalton Connect because I think that kid is amazing.
Yeah,
but if you want to get a superstar, I think you could do that with that kind of trade bait.
What numbers Dalton Connect? If his number is not 4, he is
4.
really screwed up.
He is 4.
See, got to be Connect 4.
Connect 4. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
literally his nickname. Yeah.
And when he leaves, he better get that number or else.
He's good, man. He's really good.
He is. I think it'd be wrong to trade him.
I wouldn't want to trade him, but it depends what you can get.
Yeah, it seems like they really dig him over there.
Steal the draft.
Hey, Bear Claw, we're not talking politics, man. Just not doing it.
Nope, we don't do that.
Ralph wants to.
No, I do not. I'm so done with that stuff.
Hey, his guy won, so
we won. We're good. America won. Let's move on.
You guys don't understand. Ralph's diploma right there behind him, Trump University.
I made a great video last night that I won't post, but it's funny. I might show it to you privately.
All right. Well,
it's pretty fun. I did it for humor only.
Just mark me down as impressed. I don't need to see.
It's humor. It's fun.
It's gross. Baker's Cocky Hens.
Send it to you now for sure.
Says Ohtani. Wait, we're talking basketball.
What about Ohtani?
Ohtani playing through a torn labia. Pretty awesome. Can't imagine Joel Embiid playing through pain like that. We need more guys like Ohtani, less like Embiid. Bronny looking better than Embiid so far this season.
I didn't know it was a torn labia. Is that a fact?
Ohtani's torn labia, and he had surgery for that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it's even fair to compare Ohtani to Embiid. Embiid's played through injuries before. That's the problem. Then the playoffs roll around and he just can't play. He physically cannot move.
First torn labia for Ohtani.
Yeah, I mean, Embiid played through an injury last year. They just didn't win.
Think about swinging a bat, man. Wow.
Devil Hawk says, just saw Bronny James got sent to the South Bay Lakers G League. Well, we knew that was going to happen. Sir Drives a Lot says Anthony Davis woke up this morning. That's how he got hurt. Fifth Letter says, good afternoon, fellas. Yep, Keon is on point. Our bench is playing mediocre. D'Lo needs to step it up. Gabe Vincent needs to knock down his open shots. They need to get it together.
They need to get rid of D'Lo. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, but like it's just hard to replace a guy that's getting paid that much.
Yeah, I know.
And he's under contract. Like it's just that's the issue there. And look, like there's a lot that he can give you as far as scoring the basketball goes, but anything on the defensive side of the floor is just a wash with him. Like his plus minus numbers are he's in the minus every night. It doesn't matter what they do.
Hopefully Anthony Davis gets back before the end tournament. So
because that's what matters so much.
Well, we need a back-to-back. We need a back-to-back.
Yeah, no, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and win the one that nobody cares about.
The magnificent Mr. Mormon says Chris Christie's on the Lakers. No wonder they're losing. That guy'd be a liability on any team, well, except for maybe Joey Chestnut's competitive eating team. What are you talking about?
Magnificent Mr. Mormon.
Max
yeah, he's a
Christie
new
on
guy.
the Lakers. Who said Chris?
What a name.
He chose
He
it.
chose it.
Moist one says, excuse me if I misunderstood. Anthony Davis was definitely known as an injury-prone player with the Pelicans. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It feels like New Orleans might do what people Zion and Ingram are injury-prone too. Huh? Oh,
Yeah,
New Orleans does that to people.
Yeah, I don't think the issue is New Orleans, because now Anthony Davis, of course, does not play with New Orleans and he's still injury prone. Sometimes you're just not a lucky organization. I mean, look at the Trailblazers and the amount of players that they've had leave with knee injuries. Greg Oden and Bill Walton, and the list goes on. Brandon Roy. There's just some organizations are just unlucky like that. Anthony Davis was not nearly known as being injury prone as he is now, because he wasn't even in his prime yet, really.
He was younger.
Regal Beagle, Rye Guy. I said what I said. And until these two knuckleheads figure out what I said, I'm just going to keep saying it. And that's all I got to say about that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
My name is Mary Grace. Early diagnosis is key, but make no mistake, it is a devastating disease.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time. Like right now. Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Justice for Peanuts. Justice for Harambe. Justice for, I don't know, that trash panda. What was the name of the raccoon? Peanuts' friend. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I don't remember the name, though.
They must not like the raccoon as much as they like the squirrel, because the squirrel would wear a little cowboy hat. So,
well, the squirrel was an internet sensation.
Yeah. Raccoon just,
just living on his coattails.
Just a dirty raccoon. Anyway, yeah, that was messed up. That's messed up.
Was.
Just somebody's pet, just ugh.
Weird.
Anyway, but see, now that Trump's in office, it'll be fixed. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna get fixed because that's what we were promised. I can't wait for everything to get fixed. And I don't know if Peanut the squirrel will be brought back to life. But I mean,
that should worry all of us if that happens.
We were promised some things, and hopefully they'll fix that. So 888-368-1580. Moist one said, Fred. The raccoon's name was Fred. Damn it.
Fred.
It's a bad name for a raccoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Doesn't even make sense. Oh, look, the Sunspots. They're back. Not going to read that. Commando Duke says, don't know how that guy tore that, but it makes blender sense. Yeah. Sir Drives a Lot says Anthony Davis has always been known for his injuries. Silver Pop says 3 in-season tournament championships equals 1 COVID championship. So, yeah, of course LeBron wants it.
Here we go with the COVID garbage.
No, I think you're right. I think 3 in-season tournaments equals 1 COVID championship. 10 in-season tournaments equals 1 COVID championship.
Just like the Dodgers dispelled all that BS over the Lakers.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Lakers they'll win again.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you there. I'm sorry.
Lakers will win again, I said.
Just easily bored, I guess. 888-368-1580. So you hear about Chubba Hubba? Chubba Hubba got signed to a 4-year extension because what else are the Panthers going to spend their money on? Great. $33.2 million. He'll get $15 million fully guaranteed. Wow. How many years is that for? 4 years. So that's not great.
It's not bad.
But yeah, he's okay. He's on my fantasy football team. If you want to know how good he is, he's not that good.
Or else your team's pretty bad.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I got a pretty bad team. I'm just lucky to make a playoff, and that's it.
It's the worst team you've had since I've known you.
Yeah, it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nobody out there I can get. No one's going to trade because everyone's bastards in the Premier League. I'm not even going to try.
Because the trades are horrible in the Premier League.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And Moist One's trying to trade me, and I'm like, get out of here. It's just a stupid trade.
What's he trying to trade?
I have to go look, but it's just like it's totally in his favor. I'm like, no. He wants Kirk Cousins for Caleb Williams, and I can't remember who the other person is. I'm like, no.
I always just say no just to be spiteful. Just meaning you want something I have, I refuse to let you have a thing. Well, even if the thing you were going to give me might be a good idea for me, I have this level of pettiness. The answer is no.
I don't know. Maybe it's arrogance on my part. Usually I have the players that I wanted. That's why I drafted them. If I didn't want them, I wouldn't have drafted them. Now you're trying to trade for a guy that I have that I like. How do I know I like him? I drafted him. That's I don't want your player. I want my player because I drafted him.
Well, I've lost some players I wanted to injury, so now I'm just stuck with whatever's left.
Yeah.
Olave, with the concussion again.
Yeah.
And Rashi Rice gone. So,
Yeah, no, that was that's just a bad injury luck season for you.
So listen, I ain't gonna win nothing. But then again, maybe I will.
Yes, the thing is, if you get good performances at the right times, you never know.
So Ralph knows this because he had to cut the checks to some of these people. He knows that there was probably 4 or 5 different teams that had 7-7 records in the regular season, got into the playoffs, and won the check from Harmon Solar for winning their league.
That's right.
And I mean, there was a lot of that season. So, you got to play all the way through, and everything is considered. It's not just point totals. It's also, how difficult things were, and how well you work the waiver wire, stuff like that. Well, let's see. Swazman has a compliment for Ralph, so we'll just pass on that. What's the next? No, I'm just kidding. Fun show on Sunday morning, by the way, Ralph.
Thank you.
The one before yours, but yours is not bet. No,
there is none before mine.
He didn't say that. Yeah. So Sunday morning, you guys are on right before the first game. Not this week, though.
Not this week because of the last international game.
We probably should have talked about this.
Well, this is the last one, so.
Well, I know. I'm going to say maybe we could have put you on after it or something. But then again, we've got the MRN, Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Cup Series Championship at noon. So
we'll be streaming on X regardless. So we'll be there at 9:00.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody wants to come and listen and watch, if you don't want to watch the European game, what game is it this week?
The Germany game. It's the Giants and Panthers.
Yeah. So, I can't believe I'm off for that, but yeah, come to X.
We are contractually obligated.
I was just about to say, what did the Germans do to deserve that? But never mind. I have
and the Germans have the worst fields. So that's going to be fun. They were the absolute worst.
The real question is, what did the Panthers and Giants do to deserve that?
Everything.
Not enough. That's
No, they deserve it. Both of them deserve it.
Moist One says it was Caleb Williams and Odunze.
Yeah.
How funny, because I dropped Odunze because I was just like, this guy is not doing it for me.
For Cousins, I'm like, yeah, right.
And Moist One just picked him out of the garbage heap there. I don't know. How is he doing anyway? Did he end up being that because he called me a silly nilly or something for dropping Odunze.
Odunze's had one good week this season.
Yeah, that's it.
One.
So
I have him in another league. He doesn't do anything.
I feel right.
Because if Caleb Williams is rolling, it's DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. They just don't need Odunze.
He had 1 week where he had 26.5 points, but the rest of the time, 2 points, 5 points, 2 points, 9 points,
nothing,
6 points, 8 points. In the last week, though, he did have 18, but that was against the Cardinals. So, I stand by my decision.
And that was kind of garbage time, too.
And none of that was going to win me anything.
It was the garbage time points as well. It's just, he just hasn't been good.
Guys got to get consistent or there's no point. Rough Rob says, we need some Dodger respect over at 1580. Change the station somewhere who does.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely.
Not in this city. You could change the station.
Must respect the champions.
It's the only as close to a compliment as the guys down the dial are about to get. You're not going to get anything there either.
All I'm going to say to you guys is get used to it because we're probably going to win another 3 or 4 in the next 5 years.
Let me just say this, Ralph. I think they're going to spend less money going forward. Why? Because they've achieved their goal for now. So they're going to pull back the money. There's no way they're going to spend that much money because you guys blew it last year, and you don't want to blow it again the next year. The year before, you guys got skunked.
Is that why Max Fried was out to dinner with half the Dodger team last night because they're going to not spend less money? Is that why Suzuki's out of his contract?
They're going to ask them all, it's like, hey guys, we're going to pass this hat around, and
the Dodgers are going to add 2 high-end pitchers this offseason. That's not sitting back, and they're going to give them money, a lot of it.
So they're going to. Where are they getting all this money anyway?
Deferred.
Same thing with Shohei. They're not paying Shohei all of that money right now.
$2 million a year he gets. That's it. Fried is going to sign with the Dodgers, and so is Sasaki, and those are going to be huge acquisitions. The rotation is going to be ridiculous next year. They're going to be so much better. So I was saying, get used to it. They're going to win 3 or 4
at some
next
point, though. Yeah, I hope not. But
there's no salary cap. Like, what are we?
Maybe.
Are we surprised?
At some point. I don't know. Fighting Wampa says Blender League 7. I AI loaded at wide receiver. Welcome all trade request. Don't do that here, Fighting Wampa. Put your notice up there. This is not this isn't the penny saver for all these fantasy football teams. This isn't the back page of the New Times for your fantasy football team. This is not a misconnection situation here. Big George says, I thought Ralph's show got canceled. Haven't heard it in the last month or so. Still waiting for the big move coming in September. What happened to that new promo you were supposed to give us?
I gave you a promo.
You gave me an old promo.
No, I gave you a new promo.
I said you needed to fix the time on it.
I haven't
never
done
got
that yet.
I'm not going to put a promo up with the old time.
Yeah, I'll give you the new time. I've just been very busy.
Derp. Sluzzman says, did you ever notice that the NFL schedule is the worst teams for the most jet lag? It is rigged for Kansas City to win again. Oh, my God.
Wait,
what a conspiracy theory. So he's saying travel has been carefully constructed in a conspiracy to make sure that the Chiefs win.
What is your evidence of this? Outside of you pulled it out of your backside.
Stop asking for evidence.
Yeah, well, I kind of need that to believe you when you say stuff.
Just believe.
Ooh. Moist one says, because I'm playing him this week, I'm starting Odunze this week now. I wish you would.
Who are they even playing?
Huh? The Bears?
Yeah.
Patriots.
Yeah,
it's good defense.
Yeah, I don't think Odunze is doing anything this week. Just a hunch.
I dare you, Moist one. You'll still probably win, but still. Lightning Roofer says, where will Christian Walker land? In a pile of money and a couple of hookers? I don't know.
I think he might end up in Philadelphia. There's a good shot at that. I don't think he comes back to the Diamondbacks, but they do have the ability to re-sign him for more money, obviously, but we'll see. It's going to be up to their ownership if they want to keep him or not.
Ability. Willingness?
They have the inside track to keep him if they really want to put the money out. I don't think they will because they're just bad ownership.
Mm-hmm.
But they should keep him.
Can't argue. The magnificent Mr. Mormon says baseball needs a hard salary cap and a salary floor. Only the teams that spend the most money win. That is just not good for us.
That's not true either. That's a bad statement.
Yeah, the Dodgers paid a lot of money last season.
Don't look at this season that just happened. Go back and tell me it's the teams that spend the most money. It's not.
Yeah, it's well, your team did spend a lot.
I don't know because and I understand you don't want to go back. Just use this season, but this season's kind of hard to argue. The two teams in the World Series were two of the top 3 highest spenders, and the two teams playing in the NLCS were the 2 highest spenders.
But it's the first time that's happened in years. That's my point. You can spend all the money you want. You still got to play the games, and it's a long season, and you still got to win. It's not easy.
Rough Rob says, if I had to listen to the station down the dial after I told him to, he says it'd be like a fan blowing his hand off celebrating.
It would be. He's right.
Are you saying you'd be celebrating or it'd feel painful like blowing your hand off? I'm a little confused. Devilhawk says the only team that can legitimately complain about travel are Seattle. Seattle teams. They've got the most travel of any team in all sports.
Every year. That's very true.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Tampa Bay and the Marlins are proof that statement was wrong. Money doesn't buy championships. Doesn't hurt, though. Money doesn't buy happiness. Sure buys a lot of things that helps.
Yeah, and it doesn't guarantee you a
sells
championship.
tickets.
But let's see. According to the Goog here, since 1995, 48% of the teams and 38% of the contestants in the World Series have had the top 5 in payroll. So 5 teams are represented in half of the championships. That is something. Like that's not.
It's something, but they don't win.
You're not guaranteed it. Well, 48% of the champions.
I thought it was 38.
38 of the teams just participating in it.
Listen, He's from California. His math is never going to be good. All that public
So it's
education.
It doesn't guarantee you a title, but if you're a top 5 payroll, you're usually in the World Series or winning. That's what the numbers are saying.
I just like that the Dodgers spend a lot of money to lose as often as they do. I mean, yes, they got it this time, but keep spending that money.
Because if spending money didn't help you win, no one would spend money.
That team is.
You thought you were going to win last year. You didn't. So there's no guarantee you will this year.
This is a different team now.
All right, no more Dodger talk. We got nothing but football coming up. We're going to do our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks next, and then fantasy football questions at 5. It's the Daily Blender.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Paid for by government.com. The 1878 to 1921 Morgan Silver Dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It's been 100 years since the last Morgan Silver Dollar coin was struck for circulation. And now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right. You can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan Silver Dollar coins, all in very good collector condition with fully visible dates and marks guaranteed. Call 1-800-473-0864 now to secure collector grade U.S. Morgan silver dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American collector's pack valued at over $25, free with every order. Call 1-800-473-0864 now to secure your full pound bag of Morgan silver dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-473-0864. That's 1-800-473-0864.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257 CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. Should be back tomorrow, but we got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. We got Keon Rose in the control room. We got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Bullseye, I just said we're not doing the fantasy football questions until 5 p.m. We had a time change. So now that's when the questions come. So I'll either just put a pin in your text there, or you can come back and ask that question after 5 p.m. This hour, we're going to do our picks. Fifth letter says you can blow all the money in the world, but if you don't spend it on the right players, doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah,
Take a look at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Which is true. I'm not saying every team that spends money can win, but if you're a team that has a smart GM and a smart front office, and there's another team that has a smart GM and a smart front office, but they get to spend $250 million and you don't, they get the better players and the right players, and you don't win.
So I did that as a courtesy to Fifth Letter. No more Dodger talk. No more baseball. We're doing football now. It's football time.
Let's go.
Dodgers.
So let me tell you a few things. Trevor Lawrence probably not going to play Sunday. They're talking about a surgery on his left shoulder. Throws with his right arm, though, right?
Yeah.
Get out there, you pansy.
That's not how that works at all.
Oh.
Like if it needs surgery, though, it does still need surgery. You do, when you get the snap, you do catch that with both your hands. I think you need your other arm.
You got one good hand. That's all you need.
If someone's coming at you, you could use a stiff arm, except, oh no, you can't.
You don't see quarterbacks use a stiff arm very often.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do. When they're rolling out of the pocket and you're trying to just get a little.
Yeah, mine likes to go head first into everything.
Yeah.
He stiff arms with his neck.
Yeah. Gee, I wonder why he's benched. So Trevor Lawrence probably had no go, not like it matters. Dak Prescott. I had this happen to me about 10 years ago. And let me just tell you, this is going to nag him. Hamstring injuries usually are nagging. But his hamstring tendon partially tore off the bone.
Oh, God.
That happened to me. Oh. And it for like almost 4 or 5 years, I would be driving in my car and it was my right leg. So I'm sitting there doing the pedals and all of a sudden, oh my God, it was so uncomfortable. That was just the worst. So, and I ain't trying to play football. This guy has to do this all the time. So they got to wait till it scars over, repairs, and strengthens. It's going to take time. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there is a surgery you can have for this. I'm sure there is surgery for anything, but this
nothing,
is usually
but it's still going to have to heal.
No, a tear that's like a month or more. Yeah. That's,
you're going to head and put a fork in the Dallas Cowboys. They're done.
We'd already done that.
Well, if you had any hope left, if you're a Dallas fan, that maybe
the fork has rusted, Keon.
Because the only thing making the Cowboys look any good was Dak.
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
Well, one of the only things that makes my Colts look good, Ryan Kelly. He's now on the injured reserve. So they went and got Darren Hall off of waivers. But Ryan Kelly, hell of a guy, good guy, great player. Just 4-time Pro Bowler. He got himself a calf and a knee injury. So I don't know when he's coming back. So doesn't matter for my team, I guess. You know what? Let's get right to it. I don't know if you guys have any other NFL injuries or news.
Yeah, the entire Seattle Seahawks team is injured and they're taking a bye week.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah,
it is for the best.
If you're injured, that's the time to.
Well, they need to be.
That's the time to get the bye.
Well, here's all the teams that are bye: Cleveland Browns, Green Bay Packers, Las Vegas Raiders, and the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons. All of them are bye. So
I agree.
Taco Kenny says maybe the Raiders will drop a lot of money next year to win a Super Bowl. Ha 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 ha. I don't know that, it's not about money. It's about the cap and dumb guys deciding who to play.
Yeah. And also sometimes a quarterback, like you need a quarterback. And I don't think they have a coach either. Yeah, I agree with Ralph.
The magnificent Mr. Mormon says, I once tore my hamstring playing Frisbee golf. That injury nagged me for years. What a horrible way to get it.
Yeah.
What an embarrassing, can I just say you tore your hamstring? Leave out the playing Frisbee golf point.
I would not have added that piece of information personally.
Especially now that I know you're a Mormon. So it's not like you're out there, smoking pot and playing Frisbee golf. You were doing it sober, which is worse. It's a lot worse.
No, they can smoke pot. They just can't drink Coke.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's a caffeine thing.
No, they bought Pepsi. The Mormons bought Pepsi, and then they
don't
came
talk
out.
about that.
Then they came out and they told everybody, "Hey, God, it turns out we were wrong. Sorry, God, just kidding. You guys can drink Pepsi now. We need you to. Thanks."
We misread that, Jeff.
Yeah, oopsie.
Silly
Dang,
us.
Joseph Smith, why'd you do that?
Bullseye's like, "Oh, damn it, sorry, just tuning in now. I forgot about the time change." And he kind of stood there for a second. He goes, "How are you doing?" Well, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with my voice. I don't know if I'm going to make it the full show, to be honest. This it hurts. Golden Domer says Joe Montana or Brady Quinn. How about this? Shut the hell up. Feel like that should be an option for me. Golden Domer. All right. So should we get to our picks, please?
Let's go for it.
Randy's not here, so we don't have a music bed.
Well, no,
for
I
it.
could throw some music on.
I know, but what are you going to play?
NFL music. What do you mean? What am I going to play?
I don't know. So Keon's music selection is very different.
No, I can't find the disco music Randy finds. I can find the NFL.
What the hell
music.
is this?
This is the NFL Films remixed music.
Turn it up. I'm gonna guess this is from 2003.
Oh wait.
Oh, I was close. All right. There's a while where Keon was just grabbing music from a video game.
Wait,
what was that?
When was that?
It was some Madden.
This is that.
Oh,
but it's NFL Films music though.
Yeah, all right.
It's okay.
Officially licensed NFL music.
So Thursday
I've
night
played
football.
this under the show before, and no one had any complaints before today. I don't know what to tell you.
I kind of don't like it.
Okay. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound very football-y to me. But go ahead. I mean,
It's better than nothing, I guess.
It doesn't sound it's literally made by the NFL. It could not be more football.
It's like dating your second choice. It's like,
they could make music that I don't think is football-y. This is just because it says NFL on it doesn't mean nothing.
I don't know what to tell you. It's going to cycle through a number of NFL film songs. I'm sure that one of them is going to pop up and be more football-y.
I'll let you know. So tonight, Thursday night football, the Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. By the way, as I look at the games that we are about to have, a lot of lopsided matchups this week. So picking should be pretty easy for most people.
You just jinxed it.
What's that?
You just jinxed it.
Upset week now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it depends.
That's how you should pick, Ralph.
Let's wait and see, because usually when I pick a Thursday game, if I'm absolutely correct, the rest of it is an upset week. That's just
you guys are usually pretty bad on Thursday.
You know,
I
you're
know,
right.
it's been
You're
great.
right. I've been picking wrong. I think there's one. I have to go back. But I think there's one Thursday I got it right.
My worst weeks have been when I've been right on Thursday.
So
I
maybe
almost
we
want to be
should-
wrong today.
we should go F ourselves. We should go fade ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should fade ourselves. Because right now, the instinct is the Baltimore Ravens to win this fairly easily over the Cincinnati Bengals. That's the easy answer, isn't it? Do you feel lucky, punk?
I mean, it's not a matter of feeling lucky. I think these two teams are pretty close.
The Ravens have not really played up to a level that you think they should, but
I don't
neither
know if
have the Bengals.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think the 3 games the Ravens lost, they could not stop anybody from throwing the ball on them. By the way, they have the last ranked passing defense, just as a point of fact. Their offense is fine. They score plenty. They put up 41 points a week ago. They pretty much stomp out everybody that they play. They're 6-3 for a reason.
Well, Ravens, if they're presenting you with a soft defense to pass at, that gives Joe Burrow more of a chance, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the Ravens had to come from behind and win the game the last time that they played. Wound up going to overtime. Baltimore and Lamar Jackson get it done. I'm taking the Ravens because they are at home. Despite the fact that they are the last ranked passing defense, they are the number 1 rushing defense, and they're the number 1 rushing offense. And oh, by the way, they're the number 4 passing offense in the league. So like, this is going to be a kind of coin flip game. It feels like whoever has the ball last is going to win. I'm just going to take Baltimore because I think they can control the game more with Derrick Henry.
What do you say, Ralph?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals.
You're going to do it.
Any
aren't you?
reason? Or
You're going to do it.
Or we're just fading. All right.
He's
I
fading.
mean, I'm just, every week I sit here and I come like last week. I knew the Jets were going to win. I didn't take them. I fell to the pressure and they won. I just feel that these two teams are very evenly matched. Even when they play each other, they're always good games. I think I haven't been impressed with the Ravens. I know they're everybody thinks they're this great team, but they haven't. I don't think they've played to their potential. And if that's their potential, I don't think it's very high. I just think that Joe Burrow's going to go off in this game and they're going to win it. They need to win this game.
Well, in that case, I too will take the Bengals.
I don't want you taking the Bengals.
No, I'm not really. I'm just kidding. I'm going to take the Ravens because I like getting it right.
We'll see. I think you guys are wrong again. Just like every Thursday, you guys suck. So
he's not wrong about that. But
it's okay. I want to be right for most of the games.
You take obvious teams on Thursday, and they always. It seems like on Thursdays, it's always reverse.
I don't want to play the. Should I take the team that's not the obvious team? Because
do not second guess thyself.
I just take the team I think is going to win. That's my gut. There we.
That damn Carolina game last week. Oh my gosh.
Well, that was a surprise.
Yeah, it's the NFL. Bad teams do win sometimes, but I think you're more likely to be right picking against the Panthers than not.
And then sometimes bad teams play each other, and we've got it. And it was such a bad game, we had to send it to Germany because it was so bad. It's the UGG Bowl in Germany. The Giants playing the Carolina Panthers. It's on 1580 The Fanatic on Sunday morning. If I'm going to ask you, just don't bother waking up. Just stay in bed.
for your own sanity, to be honest.
Nobody's got fantasy football players on these teams, dude. Oh, crap.
Chubba Hubba.
I got Chubba Hubba. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah, you can just wake up and find out after.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, all right. So there we are with the UGG Bowl. Carolina Panthers considered the home team in Germany. The New York Giants are the away team. They have the exact same record. They both have, question marks to minus points on the quarterback. They both have very similar problems. How do you even pick this, Keon?
Well, I still think that the Panthers are the worst team in football. Their defense is terrible. Their defensive line can't get after anybody. Their secondary stinks. I like Bryce Young playing a little bit better. It looked like he kind of had that time off kind of helped him out a little bit. But this Giants defense is too good. I think the Giants defensive line might be one of the best defensive lines in football. Wasted on this team, but I think you get a matchup against the Panthers. You take advantage. I think the Giants win.
Well, but they are midway against the run. The Giants defense is about middle of the pack against the run. And Chubba Hubba, here's the question. When a guy gets paid on a bad team, does he okay, I got guaranteed money, so I'm going for it? Or does he I got paid, I'm going to pull back a little bit, just kind of take it easy? Is he going to run well for the Panthers?
I think he'll run well. I just think that they need more than that to beat the Giants. We're talking about a Giants team that isn't lacking receivers, and they throw the ball pretty well. And I just think that lends itself to more explosive plays for the Giants than for the Panthers. I think Hubbard's going to be fine, though. Just a matter of their style of football, I don't think leads to as many points as what New York can get against them.
No, I'm taking the Giants, too. What about you? I guess you're going to take the Panthers now, right, Ralph?
Well, the only thing worse than these two teams playing is these two teams playing in Germany. It just makes it worse. And I'm not falling for it. I'm not going to fall for the Panthers winning a game last week. I did that last time. I'm not doing it. I'm taking the Giants because they're just a better team.
All right. So we are united on that at least. Let's take a look at our next 1580 The Fanatic football game. And that is, well, is this a good game? I don't know if it's a good game. It's not a good game. Is it a good game? Might be a good. I don't know. The Lions versus the Houston Texans. The Lions, okay, I'm taking them, of course, until they give me a reason not to. Texans, they've been hot and cold. They've been good, then they've been bad. You're not sure what version you're getting, but they are the Houston Texans at home. So, Ralph, you going to fade the Lions on this?
No. I mean, I love the Lions. I mean, the Lions are going to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just the way it is. They're the best team in the NFC, and they're going to run right through the Texans. I don't see the Texans beating them. The Lions right now are the team to beat, maybe in the NFL, but definitely in the NFC. So I'm taking the Lions.
Houston's record is 6-3. Is that right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Keon?
I mean, it means that they've won the games on their schedule they're supposed to win.
Mm-hmm.
Not convincingly. They look bad weekly. They escape games. And I've seen CJ Stroud struggling this season, and a lot of that is his weapons are kind of in a rotating door of being healthy, not being healthy. Their offense is still pretty solid, but like they're a team that's been giving up big plays. And I just think that when you play the Lions, that's the worst combination of things when Amon-Ra St. Brown is out there and Jahmyr Gibbs has been gashing people. I like the Texans. I like what they do. I think they're going to probably have a little bit more success against this Lions defense than some of the other defenses they've gone against. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I think you need way more firepower than they've shown this season if you're going to beat the Detroit Lions.
So, yes, I think we're all taking the Lions on this one, but I think it should be at least a watchable game. Should be. No?
Yeah, I think it could be a fun game, but it might be one of those games where second half rolls around and Detroit starts pulling away late, and the score looks maybe wider as a gap than the game overall might indicate.
Man, have you watched the Lions this year?
Oh yeah,
that confidence that they have, the way they're kind of walking and swaggering, they're dangerous.
Yeah, and they're petty. That's the thing I like. They're petty. They will run up a score on you, and I like it.
And
they are their coach.
People did it to them for so many years. They're like on revenge tour.
Yeah, and their offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, he said it like that. They've got plays specifically for every defense that they go against, and they don't apply to other teams. So he just unloads the playbook. Like the game plan we have for the Texans is not one we have for anybody else. So if I have trick plays or anything for the Texans are going to see it.
Well, it's always fun.
Yeah.
Coom says you do not have the express written official consent of the NFL. Yeah, we do. Actually, we actually do.
We're the official NFL station. We're the one place that does.
Weso Grande says, okay, Thinky Wheels hit him, so I can't even read it. I ain't gonna wait for it. So, moving on. I'll get to that in a second here. What we ought to do is just take a break. When we come back, we got a bunch more games to talk about. We got Monday Night Football. Got Ralph's game. We got Keon's game. We got my game. We got Randy's game. I think Seattle's still going to lose this week. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Thursday Night Football is live on The Fanatic.
Cincinnati travels to Maryland to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The season's getting later, and Cincinnati looks to turn things around and string some wins together. Meanwhile, the Ravens look to stay aggressive. Can Lamar and the Ravens hold off Joe Cool and the Cincinnati Bengals? Thursday Night Football, 5:30 this Thursday.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and 1580thefanatic.com.
Today's Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Sorry, Weso Grande. It's still Thinky wheeling on you. I'll have to come back around to you a little bit later. King Kittens wants us to know he has unbelievable sciatica, nerve pain in his leg. Driving's a biatch. Sorry to hear that, man.
That's the worst.
Hefty Lefty says Danny Deutschmark is going to go for 200 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, 4 total touchdowns, or he'll be a total disappointment that we've all grown to love.
Danny Deutschmark, I like that. No, he'll probably have like one of his better games because it's Carolina. Like every quarterback that's played Carolina's had their best game this season.
Well, since we don't do anything in order, Big Jake just says, hey, I want to share an all-time win. I went with plus 2,401. It was a 14-leg parlay, $8, paid $200. It took 2 screenshots to show it to you. It was so long.
14-leg parlay. My
That's
God.
insane. 14 legs. You think you get more than $200 for that, though?
Oh, for $8 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Good job, Big Jake. You must really know your basketball there. Fantastic. Golden Domer says, can you forward me a copy of your express written approval for the NFL? I'd like to use it to host a Super Bowl party this year instead of a big game party. You can't just use ours. You can't.
That's not how that works.
We're not sharing it.
That's not how that works. I don't think the NFL would approve.
Oh, here we go. Weso Grande says, sprinting after a softball during a game, I felt like someone tased the back of my leg 6 months before I sort of trusted it again.
Wow.
Yeah, them hamstrings are nagging injuries. All right, so let's get back to our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. Where were we? Oh, Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football, meh. Rams hosting the Miami Dolphins. Are the Miami Dolphins coming back to their grandeur?
Yeah, I mean, they've looked like a completely different team offensively since Tua's come back. The problem is it just hasn't been enough. They're an offensively productive team, but they don't seem to have the same gear that they did a year ago, where they were just scorching people and it didn't look like anybody had answers for what that team was. I think the league's got enough tape on the Dolphins and what Mike McDaniels is doing that I don't think that they're necessarily scared of them. You look at the Rams, that young defense is starting to actually grow up in front of your eyes. That's pretty cool to see if you're a Rams fan. And they're healthy offensively, which means if this game turns into a shootout, the Rams are in a good spot to win it. I'm going to take LA.
What do you say, Ralph? Your second, where's that? Your third or fourth? I can't remember how many teams you have. Are you picking your team, the Rams, or your other team, the Dolphins?
No, I like the Rams. I mean, the defense, like Keon just said, that young team is they're playing really well. I think the one guy is his name Verse, the last name?
Jared Verse, yeah, man.
Yeah, that guy's
out of Utah, just complete power edge rusher.
It's crazy how
walk
good he
your
plays.
tackle back into your quarterback with no problem whatsoever.
I really like him a lot. He ate Seattle's right tackle. Again, now he's a 4th-string right tackle, but he ate him for lunch last week.
I mean, yeah,
it wasn't even a matchup. It was ridiculous.
He literally walked that dude into Geno.
Yeah.
Geno got sacked by having his tackle driven into him. I don't know what to do with that.
I got mad at Geno for throwing 3 picks, but the reality is he had no time to throw.
No,
I mean, it wasn't his fault. I wanted to kill him, but it really wasn't his fault. But yeah, I mean,
a lesser quarterback would have done much worse in that spot.
I agree. And the defense is looking good. The offense, of course, I mean, Stafford looks good. They shut him down the first half, but he came back in the second half. The Rams win this game. I'm with you. Tua, he's back. He doesn't look right yet still. That offense doesn't seem to be clicking the way it was last year. They don't look right as a team. They just don't. Maybe it is that they figured them out. I don't know, Keon. Maybe that's possible, but I'll take the Rams. I think the Rams are going to go on a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams as well, but I feel a little bit worried about it. I do feel a little worried about it.
Yeah, I think you should. It's not like the Dolphins don't have the weapons to do something and win this game, but they seem to just be coming up a little bit short every single week, and until I see them really win, I just don't know if I trust them.
All right, so now let's move on to our games. Now, the Seahawks are on a bye week, so we don't have to talk about them. I guess we have to talk about my stupid Colts. They're at home against the Buffalo Bills. Oh, sweet Jesus, don't eat me. That's just all I can think. Don't eat us. Josh Allen and the Bills coming to town. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all are taking the Bills, right?
Yeah.
I don't see how you don't.
I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to go deep. I don't feel like you guys need to.
No.
I don't want to talk about my Colts anymore. I just don't. There's nothing. I'm done. I'm done worrying about them. I'm done complaining about them. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Is Anthony Richardson done for the season, or did they say anything about that?
You know, they at first they said yes. They says, okay, going forward, Joe Flacco, he's our man. He can't do it. No one can. And then that game, it was so bad. They're like, well, maybe we were too hasty about Anthony Richardson here. I don't feel like I have a grown up anywhere in the upper echelons of the Colts situation. I mean, our coach, GM, I've lost faith. And the owner, shrooms. So I'm
surprised by the defense, to be honest with you. I thought
defense is hit and miss. They were great last week at the beginning of the game, and then they got tired. They just stay out there too long.
Yeah, that's true.
They had a defensive touchdown almost right away. They were killing it, and then you get worn down, man.
Yeah, you're right. No, I agree with that.
So yeah, Bills easily over the Colts.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's talk about Keon's game. Washington Commandos, better than anyone ever expected they would be. They just are just a solid team. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are visiting them at that crap hole that they play at called FedEx Field. Russ Wilson started cooking last week. Everybody's like, hey, what? Russ Wilson looking good. Can your defense stop Russ Wilson? What do you say about that, Ralph?
Russ has impressed me. I think he's looked really well. He fits well in that offense. Didn't they just pick up another weapon too, another receiver?
Yeah, they had a trade. Was it a receiver? I thought it was no. They got a defensive guy.
Was it a defense? I thought they picked up a receiver.
No, they got Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, this team. I've been saying this now for about 3 weeks. This team is interesting. This team is dangerous. I love Mike Tomlin. Again, I still say he's the best coach in football because he just does it every year. I love how Russ fits in with him. They seem to be getting along really well. Justin Fields will never see the field again unless Russ gets hurt. The team just seems a lot more confident every week. Now, I love Keon's team. I love the Commanders and what they've been doing. I love Josh Daniels. Who thought they'd be 7-2? That's just ridiculous. I know Keon didn't.
No.
But you got to ride that wave, man. That's a nice wave right now. They're a very confident team. I think the Steelers come in here and beat them, though. I think that Steelers defense is playing really well. I think they're going to get after him. I think Russ will have a solid game. Again, Russ looks good. He can't move the way he used to, but he's doing everything else really well. The touch he has in his passes, his deep ball, he's doing what he needs to do to move the offense, and that defense is good behind him. It reminds me a little bit of his earlier years without the speed that he had. I'm impressed. I'm gonna take the Steelers in an upset. I think the Steelers win this game.
I'm gonna stick with the Washington Commandos. Everything you said about them at the start was right, but I just don't think the offense. I don't think the offense is going to be dialed in enough to go past that Washington defense. So I'm taking the Commandos. I'm going to feel dumb if Keon's not taking.
This is a good game.
It is a good game, and I'll take the Commanders too. I think that the Commanders secondary scared me early in the year, but they've been playing better lately. Like they actually look like a genuine, legitimate defense. And then you want to talk about the trade that the Steelers made to add Mike Williams to that offense. How about the Commanders going out and getting Marshawn Lattimore from the Steelers? Marshawn Lattimore has given up
Trojan horse
less than 90 yards of passing this entire season so far. The guy's incredibly good. And, the Commanders were playing pretty solid defense with Mikey Sanders who they drafted from Michigan. He was playing the wrong position, but he was the only person they could have at outside corner. Now they get to kick him inside to nickel corner. That's his actual natural position to be playing football. I think this Commanders defense is figuring things out at the right time, which give a lot of credit to Dan Quinn and his work with that team and that side of the ball. And then, the offense just has not slowed down. They just continue to be able to run the ball at will, and that opens up the passing game for them. I am worried about the Steelers. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything, but I'll take the Commanders.
Did the Commanders win that division?
I think they do.
They
start to look better, but I still don't trust Philly. Like that. They remind me of the Texans, where the record is good, but when I watch the game, I don't feel good about the team I'm watching.
Well, as far as records go, the Eagles are playing the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So, there's another W for the Eagles.
Yeah, the Cowboys, by the way, you have to go all the way back to last season to find the last time they won a game at home.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have
Oof.
not won at home yet this year.
So, yeah, the Eagles just putting another stat on for themselves this weekend. But, yeah, all right. So the Commandos with the win there at FedEx Field this weekend. Let's talk about Randy's Arizona Cardinals. We already know who Randy is going to pick, of course. But let me ask you, Keon, what do you got? You think Aaron Rodgers will, finally get their act together a little bit more? And, he's got his receiver now. But is that Cardinals defense enough to keep him at bay? I mean, what do you think's going to happen here?
Yeah, I've been impressed with the Cardinals defense. I think just genuinely surprised at how good they've looked. And it's not something that they do where they dominate for a whole game. But when there are big moments, they seem to be able to buckle down and stop teams. And Budda Baker is kind of just everywhere on the field. Like it just they use him so much that any gap or flaw in the defense, like Budda Baker just fills it. And I really like that for them. I think it's going to be a tough battle. But I think it helps that the Jets just struggle to run the ball. I'm going to take the Cardinals because I think that when teams are very unbalanced, I think the Cardinals defense is really good at figuring out what do you want to do and then taking that away from you. And they've done it against the Niners. They've done it against the Dolphins when they had Tua. Like this team has been able to put together some very solid victories. And I still don't know how sharp Aaron Rodgers is. Like there are times where he looks like the old Aaron Rodgers, and there are times where he looks like a very old Aaron Rodgers. And there's a difference there. And I still don't trust the Jets.
All right. Do you trust the Jets, Ralph?
I don't think so. It's going to depend on which Aaron Rodgers comes out to play. I mean, it really does. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is the Aaron Rodgers of a couple weeks ago, then they probably win this game. But Keon's right. I mean, they're such a good running team, but they're not running well. Aaron Rodgers looks like a turtle out there. He's so slow. And I think the Cardinals will be able to get to him. I can't even believe I'm going to say this, but I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. The Cardinals are playing really well this year. I mean,
I thought about it all day, and I was like, "Am I really picking the Cardinals today?"
Right. The Cardinals, I'll give them their due. I mean, I think that they're playing some good ball right now. Do I think they're a playoff team? I don't think any team in the NFC West is a playoff team right now, even though one of them has to make it. But you still have to be impressed with what you've seen. I mean, I have been. So I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think they deserve to be taken in this game. If the Jets are just too up and down, but if the Aaron Rodgers that is good comes out, they probably win the game. But
yeah,
I don't think he will.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from Aaron Rodgers that tells me that the old Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
We only ever see flashes of it. We don't ever see.
Well,
you're not
all
for
I
60
see
minutes of football.
Is that face that he makes when he wants to blame everybody but himself when he's throwing balls 5 yards behind a receiver, when he's overthrowing a receiver going the other direction, but he still makes the same face like, what are you doing out there?
Yeah.
Like,
Garrett Wilson had to make one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my life because Aaron Rodgers underthrew him by a mile.
Yeah, people left that part out when talking about how great the catch was, right?
Yeah.
So it's a unanimous decision. We are all taking the Arizona Cardinals, to which my wife will say, "Oh no, please don't."
Now we've jinxed them.
Yeah. She's like, "Why are you?" She was, I don't know what to do because like I picked them last week and they did win, right? So we're sitting there and she's like, "Who'd you pick?" I said, "I picked the Cardinals." She's like, "Oh, Dios mío." And she was like, I'm like, "Well, wait a second. If I pick against them, now you say I'm jinxing them. When I pick for them, you say, don't ask me who I picked anymore. Because either way, I get blamed. You know what I mean?
Just plead the fifth.
So they got to win. They just got to win. So I can say, honey, two times in a row, I picked your team to win, and they did win. So stop saging me every time I sit here and watch football.
Got to get the spirits away, man.
Coom says Ram less than the Cardinals. Card barely won against the Dolphins. Take the Dolphins, he says.
It's just that people keep saying the Cardinals barely this, barely that. Well, they barely won enough times to get to the top of the division. It happened 5 times. I know what you want me to do about this. I'm picking a team that's winning enough.
The division sucks.
The division does suck, but like, whose fault is that? That's not their fault.
They're probably the 8th best team in the NFC.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Probably about 8th.
I'm not talking about putting them in the playoffs or anything, but if they're the 8th best team in the NFC and they win enough games to be on top of this division, they'll just be in the playoffs. That's just how the playoffs work.
I still say this division will come down to the Rams and the Niners. I mean, they're both going to pull away as they get healthy.
More likely the Niners.
I think the Rams are going to go on a run. I think you'll see.
But that is a good point, though. Who are the Niners? Who are the Niners right now? They do not have the record that we thought that they would have at this point. What is the problem, Keon, with the Niners right now?
I think with the Niners, I think it's just a lack of explosive play and a lack of a consistent defense. The explosive plays that they usually were able to get in the running game that opened up things for their passing game in the past, they're not really getting that. And I know that Jordan Mason's been a really good running back, but that's not the same as having Christian McCaffrey, and it does show. And then, of course, you've had Deebo Samuel. He's been in and out of the lineup. Brandon Ayuk wasn't playing particularly well before he tore his ACL. Like they've just been unable to generate the kinds of explosive plays they've done so in the past. And then their secondary has just been getting torched by teams with the ability to push the ball downfield. And the result is that the Niners are in every game, but games they used to dominate, they don't anymore.
Well, Purdy's not the quarterback that's going to take a team on his back and go.
Is he okay? I think he's fine.
He's an average quarterback. He's not. He looked so good the last few years because of what was around him. I get it, right? You can look great when you have great things around you. But if you're a great quarterback, you can still look really, really good with not great things around you. And I don't feel he does. He makes a lot of stupid throws. He's not a guy that's going to carry a team. That's not who he is. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying he's not an elite quarterback, in my opinion.
All right. Well, I have that non-elite quarterback winning against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. And Tampa Bay has the same record, except for they have one more loss because I think San Francisco had a bye week. But Tampa Bay's at home. Tampa Bay, I like their coach. Tampa Bay, like their defense. Tampa Bay, like their offense. I mean, they're a pretty well-rounded team. They just could not get past the Chiefs. A lot of people can't get past the Chiefs, though. They're undefeated for a reason. But
overtime. And
the Buccaneers, they have a lot to be happy about, except for the whole losing thing. I'm taking the 49ers, though, to win this game. I think this is a game where they get their heads on straight. They go into Tampa Bay, and unfortunately for Baker Mayfield and company, they get the W. I might be alone on this. Am I alone on this, Ralph?
You are. Baker Mayfield's playing really well this year. They looked good last week against the Chiefs.
And yet they're still 4-5.
Right. I mean, that's the wing. They're 4-5, but they looked really good last week against the Chiefs, a game they could have and should have won.
Oh, yeah. They've looked really good in a couple of losses this year.
And I just don't think right now, today, the Niners have the weapons in place to beat this team, especially in Tampa. I think this game actually might be a little bit of a 10-point plus win for Tampa. I really think that. I think that the Niners might look really bad in this game. We'll see. But I'm just not. Is CMC coming back? I heard he might play this week. Is that true?
Yeah, that's the rumor. That is until further notice, he's probable to play.
And even if he plays, he's not going to be in game shape, ready to go.
Yeah, he's obviously missed a bunch of time. But like also with the Buccaneers being 4-5, I think I want to give that team a little bit of credit because they've had a very tough schedule. Yep. They played the Lions, they played the Eagles, they played the Ravens, and they've played the Chiefs. Like that's a lot of teams for the first half of the schedule.
Here's the latest on Christian McCaffrey. Kyle Shanahan says McCaffrey will be a limited participant in practice today, but he has no discomfort. He has no pain in either of his Achilles. So he's clean. He's clear. They just want to make sure that he actually is good. So at this moment, at least at this moment, he looks good to go into the weekend without designation.
You know the Niners are scared as heck to put that guy in a game. I mean, they're afraid something's going to happen.
What are you going to do?
But you
gonna leave the Ferrari in the garage all the time?
No, but you're gonna barely put him out there just to get him running and get a few hits. But he's not gonna be a factor in this game. I'm taking Tampa.
I don't know
if he starts running, you're gonna let him run.
Yeah, and I think that Jordan Mason's also good enough. I'm not taking Tampa in this game. I'm going to take San Francisco.
Oh,
and
really?
The main reason why is San Francisco coming off of a bye week.
Damn it! I want to look smart all by myself.
Where you got Tampa Bay. They played the tough game, went to overtime, and that was a Monday Night Football game. So they've got a shorter week than usual. And then San Francisco's coming off of an entire week of rest. I just like the Niners in this spot.
Yeah. All right. So We got the Niners. You got Tampa Bay, Ralph. So he thinks he's going to catch up by at least one pick this week. All
I'll
right.
catch up by at least 3, I think.
Swazman says, I agree, Ralph. Baker Mayfield's on fire. Therefore, take Tampa. All right, let's take a break because when we come back, we got some more picks to do. And then don't forget, get your fantasy football questions ready. 5 p.m. Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel, will join us to answer all your questions. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9491. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9491. That's 800-575-9491. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Not a whole lot of voice left. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. What's wrong with me? Swear to you, no idea. You're almost done. You're almost done. I don't know. I have a lot of talking to do when I'm reading off everybody's questions for the Fantasy Football King. But I'll be all right. Doesn't hurt. It just doesn't work. You know, like Ralph's penis.
I was going to say, where are you going
Wow.
with this, man? Holy crap.
Wow. I didn't know until I got there, but I saw that look on your face. And I knew I had to commit. So.
I knew where you were going, too.
I didn't.
Before you knew.
I didn't. So anyway, I got a couple more games to talk about here. The last game that I had designated for us to talk about was the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Denver Broncos. Now, Denver's been a beatable team all season. And then they start kind of sneaking up on you there a little bit. They damn near won that game last week. They're just looking all around better. Some good coaching. Yeah, I mean, you knew eventually Sean Payton was going to start to, show his Sean Paytonness on the Denver Broncos. So I don't think they're the pushover that maybe we felt like they were at the beginning of the year. That defense isn't a pushover. And then you look at the Chiefs and you're like, all right, so this is a team that struggles offensively so far this year, but doesn't matter because that defense has been lights out. Now the defense is going up against a rookie in Bo Nix. But, he's been doing better. So is this the team? Are the Denver Broncos defense heavy enough? Do they have enough offense? Can they overtake the Kansas City Chiefs? Is this the team that takes down the undefeated, Ralph? I wanted you to talk before Keon because I didn't want you just to agree with everything he says.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Broncos play the Chiefs well. They don't beat them very often, but they play them well. I think they beat them last year, though, which is surprising because the Broncos were horrible last year. But they did beat the Chiefs. Yeah, but they're not going to beat them now. I just don't. I like Bo. I know Keon's not a fan of Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. I think he's getting better as the season goes on. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in this league.
He looked like a good tight end last week.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But I just like him. I like his energy. I think he's smart. He's learning. Of course, we have to think about Mahomes' ankle. I know he hurt his ankle last week again, but I don't think it's going to stop him in this game. Broncos defense has been pretty darn good for the most part. I got to take the Chiefs until they lose. I mean, I just do. I don't know how you don't. So I take the Chiefs.
I say this would be a game that I am most worried about as far as the Chiefs. This is the kind of game where, something could happen. Like that the defense for Denver just really, locks it down, and then they do just enough offensively. If the Denver Broncos were to win, it's going to be a very low-scoring game. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm taking the Chiefs. Chiefs are, halfway through the season, and now I think they're looking at things going, what if we didn't lose any games? So now you're going to see some more of that offense because we had kind of speculated maybe they're holding back. Maybe they're holding back Travis Kelce. Maybe they're holding back some of their play calling because they don't want to show too much. They want to be able to get into around playoff time and just go nuts on people. Well, now they're looking at it like, ooh, we're 9-0. Maybe it's time now. I don't know. Am I talking like the stone guy at the end of the couch there, Keon?
Little bit. I don't listen. And I'm not a big Bo Nix fan right now. I think that his future is very bright. I think they're bringing him along at just the speed you should probably try to bring a rookie along. And there's not a whole lot on his plate. They're not asking him to be the guy that commands this entire offense. Just be the game manager. Keep us in games. He doesn't make brutal mistakes, and he keeps them in games. But let's just take a look at the 4 teams that the Denver Broncos have beaten recently. The Panthers? Come on. The Saints? The Raiders? The Jets, who I do not trust? Those are the last 4 teams they've beaten. They haven't played good teams. That's why they're 5-4. And Bo Nix he's been okay this year. He's been all right. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They just added DeAndre Hopkins. He looks really good with them, by the way. I don't think that this Broncos defense is just going to get pushed over, but I remind you that when the Ravens ran up against them, they dropped 41 points on this defense, and I think that the Chiefs offense is actually better. So I'll take the Chiefs and not even worry about it.
Yeah, it's unanimous, but I wouldn't be surprised if something funky were to happen.
I would be absolutely stunned.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
and
I was stunned then
sort
too.
of have your number, right? There was a time where the Rams always had the Cardinals' number, even when the Rams were Super Bowl bound. At that period of time when they were kind of good for a couple of years back around 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. In that little chunk of time, the Rams were the thorn in the side, and nobody could figure out how are they doing this? How are they even doing this? But just sometimes a team gets you. You can't explain it. So, all right, I think we're unanimous on the Chefs beating the Denver Broncos. Mm-hmm. The rest of the games are, I'm not gonna lie, they're not great.
There's some duds out there.
I got the Bears handling the Patriots.
Oh, I have the opposite of that.
All right. Well, I mean, they both suck, but I'm taking the Bears. Just I feel like, they're starting to get some momentum within themselves. Maybe not with the win-loss column, but within themselves. And I know that the Patriots have a good defense, but their offense is booty.
Their offense is kind of bad, but they got Drake May out there, and when Drake May's out there, he kind of brings that team to life. He has a big arm, and he helps push the ball downfield, and he's a mobile quarterback. Like, he runs, and he's gigantic. Just a stocky human being. I think he makes enough plays, and I also think that the Bears are poorly coached, and I would have fired Shane Waldron 4 weeks ago.
All right.
Like,
So
Ralph
I got
was-
the Bears. You got the Patriots. Ralph
was like, the Commanders shouldn't have beaten them. And I'm like, Shane Waldron got inside of the 5-yard line, and they threw a fade to 5'11" DJ Moore when they had 3 timeouts and could have run the football.
That's because Shane Waldron's terrible.
Yeah, he's an idiot. That's the reason why I'm picking the Patriots.
They need to fire him now. I'm with you 100% on that. I'm watching some of the plays that he's calling, and it's disgusting. It's
mind-boggling.
If I'm Caleb Williams, I stop listening to him.
So you're taking
Seriously.
the Patriots too?
No, I mean, I like Drake May a whole lot, and they are better when he plays. I know he's coming off the concussion. Bears defense is the only reason I'm taking the Bears. But I will not be surprised if they lose because Waldron doesn't know how to call a play. His life depended on it.
He's awful.
This is his last year there. They'll get rid of him. And if the head coach doesn't get rid of him soon, the head coach is going to be gone too.
I think Eberflus is gone at the end of the year. Yeah.
There's too much talent on this team, but I'll take the Bears.
All right. So here's another one for you. This has got to be unanimous. The Vikings taking the Tracy Lawrence-less Jaguars.
Correct.
We're all picking the Vikings.
Correct. I mean, the Jaguars look like they wanted to quit 2 weeks ago. It's just this.
They're ready for the offseason.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of guys on that team that are like, yeah, what's my time on the beach going to look like? That's.
I don't know if Trevor Lawrence really needs a surgery, but I think they really want to just put him on a shelf, keep him
I'd get
safe.
one anyway, just cause.
Anything. What do you
Just
need?
cut something up. Just do something.
Let's do something about your face. Come on. So the Atlanta Falcons playing the Saints. No, it's unanimous. We're all taking the Falcons on this one, right?
Yeah.
Falcons.
I think so.
What are you even hemming and or hawing about here?
The Falcons are,
Look, I'm not saying
the Saints are better with Carr back in it. Kamara had a better game last week.
Carr didn't help the Saints win last week,
But
and
I think
they
he will
fired
this
Dennis
week.
Allen.
but I think he will this week. You know how coaches get fired and that next week the team comes out and wins?
Right, but that's
happens
not
a lot.
this.
Yeah.
That
Happens
is
a
not
lot,
this.
though.
I don't.
There's
ever,
no one to rally around.
I don't ever pick on that trend personally, just because I still pick the best team to win.
Look, I'm
And-
taking the Falcons, but I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah, like I'm not a big believer in the Falcons. I think they're really inconsistent, but I think the Saints are worse.
Do we all have the Chargers taking out the Tennessee Titans? I do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Titans stink.
And we all have the Eagles taking out the Dallas Cowboys, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
their
the-
cheerleaders can take
The
them out.
Eagles haven't. Or sorry, the Cowboys haven't won a home game, and this is a home game, and
I'd
Cooper
like to
Rush is
see
out
that,
there,
actually.
and
The cheerleaders taking them out.
Yeah.
I want to see Barkley have another play like last week. That was phenomenal.
he hovered over
The
that
Giants
guy.
got to be kicking
I
themselves.
still
right now.
don't understand how he did that. I don't
He
understand.
just has great spatial awareness. He knew exactly where that guy was when he jumped, and I don't know how he knew that.
I want to know, has he been practicing that?
He might have.
Because nobody on the sideline for the Eagles, they were all doing this.
What?
They were. I mean, it's a very amusing video if you haven't seen it.
I don't think he practices that. I don't know how you could.
My God,
He's an amazing.
He's
running
just a freak athlete.
Yeah. Could the Giants have blown it any bigger? I just don't know how. Hurry Harry says, "Old Purse Lips is a good coach."
back. Who's purse lips?
Sean Payton. He always looks like he just ate a lemon
Oh,
when he's out
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Hefty Lefty says, the Broncos damn near won that game last week. We just needed like 32 more points. Sir Drives a Lot says, that's a phrase we don't ever need again, Jeffrey. Oh, which phrase was that, Sir Drives a Lot? Sorry. A lot has happened since you sent that text. I'm sure there's many phrases.
I've actually forgotten. Yeah.
Can't promise anything because who knows what I'm going to say. I don't know. All right, so that's it. That's our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks, and good luck to everybody but Ralph. 888-368-1580.
Why is that?
I'm
Why
out
don't
to
I get luck?
win. I'm out to win. You know, and
You need to focus on fantasy. Your fantasy team sucks.
when you were up by like 1 point over me, you let me hear about it. So now
Yes,
here
I
I
did.
am, 5 ahead of you,
I'll
going
catch
into
you.
week 10.
I will catch you. Not only will I catch you, but I will stomp you in fantasy.
We're not playing each other this week.
We will eventually, and I will stomp you.
Did we play yet?
I don't think so.
You might. My team is not great. Your team's not that
What?
good either. You have
My team's
overachieved.
good.
You've overachieved.
I have not. I have a good team.
Art, here's the thing. Your record is only one different than mine.
Look, the king didn't reprimand me. He reprimanded you.
He just did that because he just thought it was fun. Like what I do to you. He did unto me as I do unto you.
You need to give
Keon
him,
does unto nobody because
you
he's a
need to
nice
give him
guy.
intro music. See, I gave him intro music. We
Can
got
you be
king music.
quiet? We got to go to hour 3.
Okay, bye.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-542-7711. 800-542-7711. That's 800-542-7711.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppen.com. That's KASAI Teppen.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. It's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio croaky pal, Jeffrey O'Brien. Voice is still inexplicably not right, but that's fine. That's fine. The man you really want to talk to, he's ready. He's ready to answer all your fantasy football questions. But first up, Ralph from Harmon Solar is here with us. Keon Rose is in the control room. And you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Get your fantasy football questions in there, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Mr. Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel. He's a senior writer for rotoballer.com, official fantasy writer for Seahawks.com. You can catch him on Rotoballer on the SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, and he's an inaugural member of the Fantasy Sports Writers Association Hall of Fame. He is Mr. @Scott E. the King on the socials. And listen, if you have a spare question, you need to ask him. He's very cool about it. He'll talk to you on the socials. So remember that. Scott E. the King on the various socials medias. Hey, Mr. the King, how are you this week?
Good. It's not only big fantasy football week as we get close to the playoffs, but I know right there in Phoenix, you guys are hosting the NASCAR Cup Championship.
Yes, sir.
Which I'm writing about for AL.com and Oregon Live right now. And follow my son, Sean Engel, Sean E247 on social media. Sean is a NASCAR expert. He'll give you all the best picks for the NASCAR Cup Championship. He writes for Google Elite, Rotoballer, and he's a 15-time NASCAR tournament winner on DraftKings.
Wow. So, yeah, absolutely should check that out. Now, we have the broadcast on Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship from Phoenix Raceway. I think we're going to do some qualifying broadcasts on Saturday as well. So what other sports do you do, Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel? Do you do pickleball? Is there fantasy pickleball?
Not that I'm aware of, but at some point I figured there will be.
There's no sport
but,
you will not
also
fantasize.
Fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball. I'm in 2 leagues, and fantasy NASCAR.
Yeah, that's this thing I couldn't believe. There's fantasy NASCAR. That's fascinating to me. But listen, you find a way to make it work, and just like betting or anything else, it just gets you a little more interested and involved in the game, and you feel like you have a little more of a personal stake in it. And it does. It makes it a whole lot more fun. Here, let me ask you a question. Every week on a Tuesday, we go through and we give people props. We'll tell right now we have 2 undefeated teams in all 14 of the Daily Blender Fantasy Football Leagues. And every week we also say who had the highest score. So I'm just kind of curious for you. I know you run a lot of teams, but what has your high score been so far this season where you've been like, holy crap, I'm killing it?
Probably something in the 190s.
Yeah, 190 is about where it is.
I haven't hit 200 yet this year.
We've had a couple of 200 pluses. I was shocked. I think one week we had a 220, and I'm like, that's somebody's cheating. I don't know how they could cheat, but that's just a ridiculous score. They just had everybody right that week. So anyway, listen, we like to start with our questions first. So I'm going to be a gentleman. Ladies first. Ralph, do you have any fantasy football questions for Scott?
You see how I'm disrespected, Scott?
Yeah, they shouldn't treat 12s like that.
Exactly.
12? Oh,
yeah.
That whole Rainy City bitch pigeon thing. Got it. Got it.
One question. So defenses. I have the Giants and I have the Bears. Who would you start?
Giants. I mean, they're going against Carolina, and the Giants have had a terrific pass rush all season.
And do we start worrying about Patrick Mahomes yet? Or just, I know your rule. If he's starting, you play him.
I haven't seen anything that he's not going to play.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying his production's been, except for last week, I think he had
you're talking about just his production? I mean,
like I have Kirk Cousins and I have Patrick Mahomes. They just keep Mahomes.
Yeah, I
in
think
there.
we're well past the point of expecting past Patrick Mahomes numbers.
So you would just keep him in there? Or?
Well, Kirk Cousins has a much better matchup.
I think so.
Mahomes is no longer a must-start in fantasy football.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Breaking
Been that way
news.
for several weeks.
Well, it raised a lot of eyebrows here to hear you say that. So maybe you could have told us a couple weeks ago.
Well, you didn't ask me a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he's not my guy anyway, so I don't care.
He doesn't care. Thanks, Scott.
Is that your only question, Ralph?
That's it. I'm good.
All right. How about you, Keon?
Let's see here. Honestly, I think it might be good.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then, I will
Here comes 30
enjoy
questions.
taking. No, I got 30. I only have a couple. Defense, I'll ask a question too. Would you use the Rams against Miami or the Cardinals against the Jets?
Rams against Miami Cardinals. Probably somebody better. Probably a better unit on free agency. I don't like either one.
I don't know, man. Haven't seen it on the free agent. Remember, it's Premier League, so there's 12 teams, and everybody is greedy.
Well, I would take Arizona.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. How about, because I had to check.
Hey, wait! I'm in the middle of your turn.
Oh,
what are you doing?
Sorry.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I thought you were done. My bad. Tony Pollard or Juwan Jennings in the flex.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings comes back off a bye, and 49ers have an excellent matchup.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I'm going to come back and take more time because I have an issue. Olave with the concussions, man. I mean, it's damn ridiculous. Any word on what's going on with him? Is he going to be out a while, or is he? I mean, there's no way he's coming back to Sunday, right?
Yeah, but you can't. I can't predict anything past that if the team doesn't know anything past that.
Well, I'm gonna have to find somebody in his place. I don't know if Xavier Worthy is the play that he used to be. So I'm not sure.
He's got no floor and only occasional upside.
Right. So that leaves me to figure it out. Rashad Bateman, Nick Westbrook, Kine, Michael Wilson. There's not a lot for us out there in the Premier
I would
League.
use Bateman for some upside in the high-scoring game on Thursday Night Football.
Okay. So my other thing is Kyle Pitts has started to drop off. Luckily, I've got K. Dotton, but I'm sitting here looking at the flex. Javonte Williams, I'm not expecting him to have a good game. I just named off everyone else I had. I'm not quite sure what to put there in my flex.
Well, if you can put K. Dotton in there, he's like the number one pass catcher for Tampa Bay.
No. I got K. Dotton as my tight end.
Right.
So Kyle Pitts, I'm just thinking I'm gonna bench him off my flex and put one of these other guys in there, but I don't know which guy.
What are the choices to put? Javonte Williams might lose his job this week. So
That's right.
To Audric Estime. So
I don't even know why I've got him anymore, to be honest. So
I would cut him, but
I got Michael Wilson for the Cardinals. I got Nick Westbrook at Kine. I got Xavier Worthy. That's all I got.
Of those, I'd take Nick Westbrook Akine. He's scored in 4 straight games. I would use Nick Westbrook Akine over Nick Westbrook Akine.
Oh, well, I like Akine, but all right. I mean, I'll take your advice.
Somebody there.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
So does anybody else have any more questions? That was it. My mess is it's still messy, but there you go.
Yeah, your team sucks.
I know it does, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm in the playoffs. That's all
remember,
I'm trying to do.
Team performance reflects ownership.
Yeah, says the Seahawks fan. Well done.
Is that from the Water Boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Let's get to the text line. Let's see here. Berg says Randy's getting a win again this week. Berg is all sad now. He's not playing as well as he usually does. See, Big George says, "Hi, Scott Engel. Question for you.
Yes.
Would you start DeMarcus Robinson, Rashad Bateman, or Michael Pittman Jr. in a wide receiver position?"
I'll take what I told you. I'll take Bateman for the upside in Thursday Night Football. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
I am so glad that I and now / we got that information, before the game started. So that's good. Hefty Lefty says, "Thank God the election ads are done. Chucky Mack is back. Timeshare contracts everywhere. Just crap their pants." Yeah, but do you have a fantasy football question? Oh, he does. Here it is. Addison or Jameson Williams?
Addison fantasy wise, but I also really like Jameson Williams. He's got more upside.
Mark Andrews or Eckler in the flex?
We don't know if Ryan Robinson's playing or not Sunday, so you got to use Andrews tonight because we're not going to know that situation with Eckler until Sunday.
So there you go, Hefty Lefty. And he says, thank you as always for your input.
Sure.
The magnificent Mr. Mormon says, hey, King, would you start Keaton Mitchell tonight for the Ravens at running back, or would you start Devin Singletary or Jaleel McLaughlin instead?
That's bad. If you could pick up Audric Estime off of waivers, I would do that. You can't play Keaton Mitchell. Who are the other two?
Let's see. Keaton Mitchell, Devin Singletary, Jaleel McLaughlin.
I'll take a shot with Devin Singletary against the Panthers.
Bullseye says, question for the king of fantasy football. Would you start Jared Goff or Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy. Outstanding matchup this week.
Yeah, Ralph was saying that Brock Purdy is just sort of like meh as a quarterback, and he thinks the Tampa Bay is going to run all over the 49ers. What gives you the confidence in Brock Purdy?
They have the worst pass defense in the NFC outside of Minnesota. You know, I think Ralph is talking with his heart there a little bit as a Seahawk fan.
Don't you dare change that pick, Ralph.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. Ralph is talking with his heart as a Seahawk fan. Tampa Bay's a mess on offense, and they can't hold up against the 49ers. Come on, be serious, Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph, be serious.
I think they win that game. We'll see.
Ralph, I love you, but you're losing credibility here based on your allegiance. Don't do that to yourself.
So here's the thing. Ralph and the king of fantasy football, both Seahawk fans, so they have that. Ralph kisses the ass of Scott Engel on a weekly basis with his big fanfare and music thing that he has. So
we treat him right.
Scott, at least he can pronounce Nick Westbrook Akine.
You mean Akine?
No.
So, do you want the fanfare on this show too? Do you want the music? Do you want the horns? Do you want the red carpet?
Sure.
He deserves it.
Because I'll just steal it off of Ralph's show. We're the bigger show. We'll just take it because we don't even have to ask. So we'll make sure we. Keon, grab that audio and put it in our folder, would you?
Will do.
Thank you. All right, let's see here. This is a guy I don't remember ever reading one of the texts from this guy. This is a guy who must have been new when I wasn't around. Cool Jr. I've never read a text from Cool Jr. But Cool Jr. says Sequin actually said he did that backward. Oh, Saquon did a backwards hurdle before. I don't remember ever seeing it. Have you guys?
I don't remember seeing it before.
I
I'm not
don't
saying
remember
it didn't happen. I just don't remember seeing it before.
Never seen it. I think we would have heard about it. So if Saquon says he did it, maybe he meant like high school or something in practice, because that would have been on video. We would have been talking about that.
Yeah.
Ringless Joe.
Last week, just like two of the greatest athletic feats you'll ever see with that and the Garrett Wilson catch.
Garrett Wilson catch out of necessity. Saquon just to be mean. I mean, and good for him. I loved it. Latina Leprechaun says, everybody's got something to say other than fantasy football questions here.
What is he saying?
Maybe you should add Scott Engel to the race setup with Randy White. Well, he's not been doing that lately. So, but
what,
yeah,
is it a race segment he does?
Yeah, he used to. It's been a couple of years. He used to do the NASCAR show. You're absolutely right, Latina Leprechaun, if he was still doing it. Ringless Joe says, Ralph, what do you make of the Sea Chickens collapse? 3-0. Now they're 4-5.
It's a matter of injuries and a very bad offensive line.
Scott,
since you're injuries are a huge deal. I mean, Metcalf is out, but the offensive line is certainly an issue. The defense is underperforming, but yeah, the offensive line is the biggest issue.
Yep.
And, all these Seahawk fans pointing to Geno Smith. He's certainly not the problem.
He's not. I was mad at him, but it's not his fault.
No. I mean, he threw those interceptions, when the pocket was getting crushed on him.
Yeah, I mean, that Jared he he was not protecting him at all. It was terrible.
They do get Abe Lucas back this week.
Oh,
And
that'd be
Michael
huge.
Sean Dugar, who covers the Seahawks for The Athletic, who I have a ton of respect for, says that Abe Lucas is actually their best lineman.
Yeah, he's great if he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Jonesy on the text line, he asked a question at 5:05. Then he texts in, "Hey, what about my question?" Let me tell you why that's a rookie mistake. Once you text in the question, leave it alone, because when you send in the follow-up text, it bumps it up towards the top. And I'm reading these down from the oldest ones first. So now you just pushed yourself out of line. So remember that when you text in your fantasy football questions, just be patient. But now I've explained that to you. I'll go ahead and read yours. Jonesy says, tough week for me with all the buys out there. Justice Hill or Deontay Johnson at flex?
Deontay Johnson. Justice Hill's like not even rosterable unless you roster Derrick Henry. You need the handcuff.
Swave Dave says, hi, Mr. the King. Should I play Pollard or Jordan Mason?
Pollard. Christian McCaffrey likely coming back this week. Jordan Mason won't be startable anymore.
Well, even if you think that Christian McCaffrey, at least on this game, might be on a pitch count?
They're bringing him back slowly. I'm not saying it can't happen, but if they're going to put him on a pitch count, then he's not ready to come back. So, they're saying he's ready to come back.
It might just be fear-based on the part of the 49ers,
The NFL teams don't think like that, with all due respect.
Gotcha. Donnie says, I traded Tyreek and Charbonnet for Chase. Did I win that trade?
I think you did pretty good. It's Charbonnet doesn't have any fantasy appeal unless you roster Kenneth Walker and you need the handcuff.
He also asks Pearsall, Coleman, or D. Robinson from the Rams as a flex.
Coleman's injured. Might not play this week and maybe longer. So I go with Robinson.
Ziggy says Kyler Murray or Matthew Stafford.
I'd go with Stafford. I don't like Murray too much against the Jets. Ziggy, wasn't that an old comic book and when
That's
they
right.
used to newspapers, which like anybody under 30 doesn't know what that is.
I kind of miss newspapers a little bit, just sitting there and
I
having
don't
it in
miss
your
the
hand.
smell of the ink.
Yeah, I didn't
Getting all over your thumbs.
It didn't bother me too much. It's kind of like some people like the smell of gasoline. You're filling up your car. Some people don't care for it. I've always kind of liked it. Ziggy
All right,
also,
kinky.
hey, don't kink shame. Ziggy says Mike Gesicki or Dallas Goedert.
I go with Gesicki. He's just been huge with T. Higgins out, and the Baltimore pass defense is a problem.
All right, listen, we got a bunch more fantasy football questions for Scott, the fantasy football king Engel, but we're going to take a break and we'll be right back to pick it up where we left off. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's fall football on the Fanatic. Catch all the live game play-by-play, Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday day and night NFL games, plus the Saturday NCAA football game of the week. It's all right here on the Valley's home for football. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert. 4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Live and local.
Steve Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Scott, the Fantasy Football King Engel, is answering your fantasy football questions. Let's get right back to it. I don't know if we should help the Moist One this week because, well, I'm playing the Moist One this week. He has a good team. I do not. Oh, this is fun. I'm going to go ahead and ask this one because I'll explain. He says, hi, Mr. the King. Go Seahawks. He says, Chase Brown, Swift, or Odunze in the flex. Did we lose him?
Great.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me?
Now I
Swift
can.
Swift is playing great. There's no way you bench him. He's an every week start right now.
Mm-hmm. And, well, what are your thoughts on Odunze?
There's no floor there, but he's got a good matchup.
I dropped him, and Moist One swept in and picked him up and said I was silly for dropping him. And he's only had like 1 good week. Well, 1.5 good weeks the entire season. You know, at what point, I mean, do you feel that Odunze is on the verge of being consistent yet?
No, because he's the third receiver there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do have a matchup against New England this week, which is fantasy friendly.
Moist One, you promised you'd start him against me. You promised. Fecal Mist says, well, with Higgins and Olave out, I need to choose from Keon Coleman, Jalen McMillan, Mike Williams, or would you take a chance on the Bengals, Andre
Isovius?
Isovius?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if people, please, tough love here. Pay attention. This is the second Keon Coleman question we've gotten tonight. He's out this week. All right. Do yourself a favor. Get the Roto-Bowler app without player news notifications. It's free, so I'm not trying to sell you on anything. And you'll know exactly when someone is out. I don't know if Jalen McMillan's going to play. Ralph and I will answer for you for this on Sunday morning.
All right, Fecal Miss. So the answer is tune in Sunday morning to the Weekend Warriors NFL football Sunday morning show thing. I don't know. Is that what it's called?
Football Sunday, yes.
Oh, Football Sunday. And it starts now because the time change starts at 9 a.m. and it is usually over at 10:30 or 11. It's not on this week because of the stupid Germany game. So you'll have to go find them on the X. They are going to do the show. You just got to get on the Twitter/X. You should be doing that anyway. And also, you can find Mr. the King on the socials at Scott E. the King. All right. So to be continued, Fecal Mist. Moldy Tuna Fish says Quentin Johnson or Rashad Bateman in a wide receiver position.
Quentin Johnson's playing really well, and he has a very good matchup this week.
The Berg says ketchup or mustard.
I'm going to go mustard.
Ooh.
It depends on what I'm eating. Like a salami and provolone sandwich with mustard on it always hits the spot.
That does sound nice. On what bread?
Semolina bread.
Oh, nice. No, that's good choice. That's good choice.
Yeah.
I could lunch with you in New York. That's for sure.
So we only drink Dr. Pepper.
Well, I can have some water. The Berg, he hates mustard so much. But I don't know why. I don't know what your problem is. I mean, you know, for me, mustard is good, like on a nice sandwich, like a club sandwich or something. But I also like corn dog. You dip the corn dog in mustard. What are you putting in anything else for? Gotta love a corn dog.
You put the lime in the coconut and you drink it all down.
Dude, can I quote you on that?
Yeah, that's like an old Sesame Street bit.
Is that? That's an actual song, I thought.
Yeah, you put the lime in the coconut, you drink it all down.
I love that you got that from Sesame Street, not from actual radio. Zacharoni says, hey, I got Kelsey and Njoku. Wide receiver 2 is Higgins or Dell. Would you trade Kelsey from Leak Neighbors or go maybe try to go higher, get a St. Brown?
I think you're shooting too high to the point where you might not get anything in return. You might get, I don't know. Travis Kelce's playing better, but unless a team is desperate at tight end, it's really not about who you want. It's about finding the right trade partner. I think you're a little too high. If I had Amon-Ra St. Brown or Malik Neighbors, those are superstar elite wide receivers. I'm not giving them up for a tight end, especially if I have a tight end I could depend on. So, look at the teams, look at the rosters in your league and see who's desperate for a tight end of everything there and work off that roster. But I think you're shooting a little bit too high to the point where you probably get turned down.
All right. Brooks Koepka says putter from the fairway or chip when near the green.
I don't watch golf.
Sorry, Brooks Koepka. Swazman says, hey, Mr. the King, same question, 3 weeks in a row. Waddle or Sutton or Ridley?
I'll go with Ridley, although I don't like any of them a lot this week.
He says, plus I've got I've been CJ Stroud for Matthew Stafford. I don't know if he says bean. I don't know if he means trade or what, but he says, is that a good move? I don't know. I can't understand what you're saying there, Swazman. Do you understand?
He's probably saying, should I cut Stroud for Stafford? I would cut Stroud with Nico Collins coming back soon, but I would get Stafford for now if he could. Not while cutting Stroud, though.
Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, would you start Amari D'Avocado or Audric Estime or over Devin Singletary?
I'd probably go with Estime. Well, actually, I don't know what kind of workload Estime is going to get. The Panthers they allow the most fantasy points per game to running back, so I'd go with Singletary.
Commando Duke says, my running back situation is bad. Kamara is my running back 1. My running back 2 had a bye week. Options on the bench, NTN or Bigsby. Both are questionable. Or Jalen Warren.
We have to wait and see, check with us Sunday because both have been limited in practice.
All right. So check again on Sunday, Commando Duke.
Yeah, sometimes you have to wait till at least Friday night to know on these guys. We don't always have questions on Thursday night because Friday is the critical practice day for a lot of these players.
Booze and Raider says, could you play Alec Pierce or Ray McLeod?
Boy, that's a deep league. I'd probably go with Ray McLeod for a better matchup.
Moist One says, yes, the O-line has got awful, but come on, these picks that Geno threw in the red zone were inexcusable. 3 points on either possession, and they win.
Yeah, but, Geno was getting pressured on both of them. This is like the first real bad game that Geno has played all year, like really bad. Now, the guy leads the league in passing yards. He's up there in completion percentage. He's been throwing terrific deep passes. I'm not going to say those weren't critical turnovers, but Geno is not the reason that they only have 3 wins. I only have 4 wins.
All right, the music is playing, so we got to go quick. Beer Nuts wants to know, Andrews or Pitt?
Go with Andrews. We don't know if Pitts is playing or not.
All right, Screaming Goat says, that's a very involved question about Dak getting hurt, and should he look to trade CeeDee Lamb? No.
Not for a quarterback. You might be able to find like Flacco or Winston on the waiver wire and be okay.
Cardinal Art says Harrison Jr. or Wilson?
Garrett Wilson for sure. He's got a great matchup this week against Arizona.
All right, the rest of you are going to have to find him at Scott E. the King, or just tune in to the Weekend Warriors football show Sunday. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thursday Night Football is up next here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Gil Alexander hosts